Yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another new episode of the Anination podcast. Hope you guys are having a great summer.
Yes, and just hope you guys are enjoying the nice fun in the sun. Hope you all guys are enjoying some Pride Month. Hope you guys are having fun in June now that school is out and summer's in.
Also, when we do our episode, we have to talk about people who are graduating because I'll explain the story when we do our podcast episode. But tonight we're going to be having quite a bit of fun. I mean, some of you guys are probably Gravity Falls fans. We're gonna do a character tier list this time for this episode, as much as some brand new news that's coming out in the world of animation.
Yeah, and also we thought we'd bring this as a real treat to y'all because we want to celebrate Gravity Falls anniversary early on because Gravity Falls did release back in June 15th of 2012. It's been a hit ever since.
That's for sure. I mean, everybody still remembers Gravity Falls and stuff. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get this started. So just sit back and relax. We'll get our episode going here in just a moment. Okay, well, hello everyone. Welcome to an all-new episode of the Anination podcast. My name is Nate, and I'll meet us on my right here.
What is up, Anination Sun in June?
Yeah, it is June. I mean, middle of June right now, since we've started a podcast like back in early June. Oh, God, we're getting confused all of a sudden. What the heck are we talking about now?
All I'm saying is, school's out. Now it's time to enjoy the sun.
I was going to say school's out right now, and I do want to give a shout out to folks who are graduating the class of 2025. Congratulations who are high school graduates, college graduates. Have yourself a fun time out there, and yeah, have a fun time being an adult and all.
Oh yes, that diploma is it's a symbol. It's a paper that says you're ready for the future.
I wanted to actually bring this up because when I was about to leave my house, I could even hear there's a high school that's close to my house. And they're doing their graduation ceremony right now, and I'm hearing like cheers and a big PA speaker talking about the graduates of 2025. And yeah, I mean, like, it kind of reminds me of like when I graduated back in like a long time ago to say.
Yeah,
like it's kind of like a nostalgic moment there.
Yeah, it really does feel like you've truly reached peak. The moment you obtain the diploma, it's just the world changes your life. You know, It changes your life.
I mean, well, you still have to go to like college and like a job and stuff after you graduate.
It's a brand new chapter.
Yeah, brand new chapter. Now that school's over for you, and then now you're pretty much like living out whatever you want to do.
Yeah, so we just want to say congratulations to all the graduates out there. Like you pointed out, happy graduation to y'all.
Yeah, for sure. So it's been a week. How has your week been so far?
My week has been a slight bit of chill and a bit of fun at the same time. Of course, my weekend was filled with Mario Kart World, of course.
Oh, yeah, because you just had your Switch 2
so much
just
fun.
now, yeah.
However, aside from that, I've also went to a family friend's house to celebrate their graduation. We went to the house of family friends of ours who I consider to be my aunt and uncle. Their grandson has just graduated high school, so we thought we would come and celebrate them.
So, did he graduate high school? Did he graduate college?
He graduated high school.
Okay, so he's now going into college now.
He's going to university. He's actually traveling down Southern California for college.
Oh, so like UCSC, UCLA, those kind of colleges.
UC Riverside specifically.
Oh,
yeah.
did your brother? Oh, your brother went to Irvine.
He went to Irvine. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
UC
different.
Riverside. My sister used to go there before she went to UC Davis, and that was a better school than Riverside, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I see. Well, whatever is his, if it's his decision to go to the UC Riverside, we'll support
who
it.
knows? Like, maybe that's probably the college that he, I mean, like when you're applying for colleges, you have to like pick one, and decision is all up to him and all.
Yeah, it's all up to him. I do trust that he picked the right college, and I wish the best of luck to him in the future. And also, so I just started my first week of my temporary summer job, which is a summer camp counselor. It feels good to finally work, full time after 6 months of looking for employment. Now, this isn't a permanent full-time position, but at least it's temporary. I'm getting a 1 month of experience from this.
Getting experience, you're getting some cash.
Yeah.
And then, as summer ends, probably the job openings will probably come up. So
Yeah.
that'll help you out.
It will definitely help me out, build my resume, and I'm taking a career change. I'm like, my job is like working with kids, and I do hope to obtain that experience because I do plan on teaching elementary like in the future. So yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah,
You don't need to get you need like to get a teaching degree or something like that, or
that's what I plan to in the future. Like, this job is going to help with the experience because it's one of the requirements in which, in order to get into a multiple subject teaching credential career, you have to have experience working in a recreational or camper, something like that, because you get experience working with children. So
okay, nice.
it will definitely help with like leadership experience. But enough about me. How's your week?
Week has been all right. Nothing really much happened this weekend. The only thing I could probably talk about is that I finally watched Karate Kid Legends. So Karate Kid Legends was actually a pretty good movie. I know some folks are probably going to say like some negative reviews here and there. I do have to say, this actually does hit all nostalgia factors for those that watch the Karate Kid. The fact that, the original Karate Kid was there, helping out the new Karate Kid. Even the new Karate Kid himself, like I've seen him from American Born Chinese, that Disney show on Disney Plus. He was there. Now he's actually in a movie, so good that he's raising up for him.
Like this generation's Karate Kid that's not in Cobra Kai. Because this new kid wasn't in Cobra Kai, so this is like
it's not even related to Cobra Kai at all, right?
It's not related to the series whatsoever. It's its own standalone story, which I do like.
Which I'm kind of wondering about too, because I know some folks are always saying like, "Oh, it's not related to Cobra Kai." It's the reason why they kind of like hate it, and I'm like,
but like, isn't that the beauty of it? Because each and every kid, whether it be related to the Miyagi verse or not, like they still have their own stories to tell. They have their own paths in which how they learn about karate in the first place. And it's very refreshing to see a protagonist already a karate master, because he's not even learning karate. He's already a master of it in his own home country.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing about it. Like, he's a karate kid, but he already knows karate, while, the original Karate Kid had to learn from the bottom up from Mr. Miyagi,
Yeah, and the same applies to some of the protagonists from Cobra Kai. So I like how they're taking this different direction with the Karate Kid Legends protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of refreshing. Like, it's avoiding repeating the same old formula again. They put its own spin on it.
Well, to be fair, like, Miyagi is now Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is now the new Mr. Miyagi in this new generation of Karate Kid folks. But the fact that, like, you saw the original Karate Kid come back and actually help the new kid become the Karate Kid is crazy.
And it didn't feel forced at all. Like, Daniel LaRusso definitely blended into the story of Karate Kid Legends very well.
Again, this is like another nostalgia feel for all Karate Kid fans, considering like the ending also did bring back some nostalgia feel. Like,
yes,
freaking characters came back. Also,
like after that mid-credit scene, I literally screamed at the theater. I was like, "Ah, yes!"
Oh, you did? Oh shit!
I literally did.
I was just like, I just remember like, oh my god, is that guy?
Yes, I literally fangasmed. It's like, yes, they got him at the scene.
Oh man, again, like this is supposed to hit all the nostalgia fans who love Karate Kid, and I must say, like, it's fine. I do have to agree though, it was a little bit fast paced. We don't really get much story when it comes to the new Karate Kid, or the fact that the Karate Kid, like, what was it? What happened to the original Karate Kid that is now Daniel LaRusso now lives in LA, pretty much like in the Miyagi residence now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. Like, I'm a huge Karate Kid fan myself, so it was nice just seeing that Karate Kid nostalgia on the big screen. But yeah, the plot could have been less rushed. There were times where the story elements did feel a bit rushed, but other than that, it was a fun karate movie, which is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, I mean, like Karate Kid wasn't a bad movie. I thought it was done really well.
Karate Kid Legends is definitely much better than what the critics say, but it's not one of the strongest either. It's somewhere around
But
that.
I mean, yeah, it's not supposed to be like the over the top movie that everybody's going to be enjoying. I'm just saying, like, it's enjoyable for me. For me to actually, watch how Karate Kid was before when we, watched it when we were young.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, better than the one that came out in 2010s or something. I remember
2010s, yeah.
I don't know when that year was. I just remember Jaden Smith was the star in that Karate Kid movie, and I didn't like it.
Why'd you bother even calling this Karate Kid if what Jane is learning is Kung Fu? You might as well call it the Kung Fu Kid. But that's the least of that movie's problems.
Yeah, again, I don't care. Like Karate Kid's Legends was a pretty good one. So
yeah.
if you haven't watched it, please watch it. That's my recommendation for y'all to check it out.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Karate Kid Legends definitely hit almost all the right notes on what makes a Karate Kid movie.
And then another thing that came out, I totally forgot about this, but last Saturday, me and Jess, we went over to this one spot. This brand new store just opened up. If you are from Tustin, California, there's this place called Micro Center. You guys who live in Tustin, California, or live in SoCal or in the Orange County, you probably love that place, considering how many computer parts you can buy and how you can make your own PC, those kind of things. Micro Center is now here in Santa Clara.
Really?
Right? Yeah, it's really here.
Nice.
So me and Jess ended up going. We had to buy her a new PC, so we went to buy her a new PC. It actually was a pretty reasonable rate. I didn't want to build it because it's more expensive now, considering like the graphics cards are like over $800, $900. Yeah. But to be fair, it's like computer parts. They're going to be expensive anyways.
Well, that is true. Especially graphic cards, they're expensive for a reason. They're graphic cards. They help enhance the graphics in the computer screens, the computer monitors. Right?
No, just the microchip in the chip. The microchip on the board is the one that's making it pricey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't know if you've seen the memes or something about GPUs, but like it's a crypto thing too, and I don't like to get into the deep thoughts of it, but it is pricey as heck. And I mean, blame NVIDIA, blame AMD, but they keep on ramping up the prices for those graphics cards.
Yeah.
And it makes sense considering like how great and quality it is. So yeah, that's why I told Jess. I told her like we'd rather just buy a pre-build instead, and we ended up buying a pre-build, which is actually pretty reasonable. It's big. It's a massive like PC, and I hope it can actually fit our table because I'm going down there tomorrow to build it for her.
Oh, so, nice. Awesome.
Yeah, she's got to play Fortnite now. She's going to play, like, all these games, and I'm like, I'm going to teach you how to play Fortnite so we can have a fun time.
Oh, nice. Like, it makes me think I got to get back into Fortnite.
Yeah, get into freaking Fortnite. Oh, my God. They just started superhero season now.
Like, I still have Fortnite on my PS5. That's what I'll be playing it at.
It's on Switch too as well, right?
It's on Switch too, but I like to play it on the... Okay, like, I like to try it on the Switch too to see, like...
I heard the graphics got a whole lot better.
Yeah. The graphics are in 4K for the Switch 2, so it makes you think, should I go Switch 2 or PS5? Because they're both 4K, so... But then again, that's a topic for another day. I do look forward to playing Fortnite again. It's just a matter of when we'll do it.
I mean, I will do it every day. So come and join in whenever you can.
If you invite me, sure.
I mean, yeah, because like I have my own squad to play, but it's like around 10 p.m. or something. That's when I usually play, so yeah. I also basically reminds me if I want to go back to streaming or anything like that. So
yeah, you should definitely go.
That's what I was thinking. Like, what if we do streaming for the Anination podcast? We'll just do like overtime where we actually do stream and we put the game here. Yeah, we have a Switch. You have a Switch. So
Anination Gaming.
Yeah,
Anination Gaming.
We have a Anination Gaming over here. We have a Switch right here. We'll play some games together, Mario Kart or something. We'll have it on screen. Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
That's an idea for another day, though. Like,
yeah, we'll decide it.
Yeah,
we'll think about it.
Because I do enjoy gaming. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm a huge gamer. So
yeah, the reason why you bought a freaking Switch 2 on the first day.
Which is why it's an idea I'll get behind.
Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. Yeah, so Micro Center was fun. We ended up going through like so many things. I ended up buying like a brand new Demon Slayer mouse pad, which is like it's a table pad actually. Where you can actually put your keyboard and your mouse all together. It's pretty sick. They have so many parts. You can build a new keyboard there. Computer parts are all over there. Even like some peripherals that you guys want. Maybe you want a new cell phone. They have cell phones there. You want a new flash drive. There's a new flash drive there. There's so much stuff for your computer. And then I was just like, I'm in love again.
Yeah.
So it just reminds me of what happened when I went to Tustin like a couple years back. Well, last year actually, I went to Tustin for the Flow concert. Because all my friends that were there, they were living in the OC, and Tustin was down there in the OC. So we took a visit down there. I ended up buying like a bunch of Demon Slayer stuff. So
that's cool.
If anything, I said, check out Micro Center. By the way, I don't know if you guys, again, Micro Center is also around the globe. I know in California there's only 2 locations, one in Tustin, one in Santa Clara now. So yeah, check out Micro Center. It's I had a fun time there for sure.
Yeah, I'll check out Micro Center, but I won't be shopping. It's just more along the lines of, okay, I gotta check Escape place.
No. Just browse. That's what I did. And then who knows, you might pick up like your new headphones, your new mouse, your new laptop, because they got some reasonable prices, honestly, for those kind of things.
Yeah.
Or a new monitor, a new computer monitor.
All those things I'll keep in mind for when I shop there in 2026. But
oh my gosh, I would still say just visit, if anything.
No, I mean, it's like I said. If I do go to Micro Center in 2025, it'll be just for a visit, and that's it.
I mean, like,
but 2026 is when I'll really be.
But I'm just saying, like, don't predict that. Just go over there and see it for yourself.
Yeah, I'll see for myself. But yeah, it must be legit for good reason.
It was pretty legit. But yes, those are like the kind of things that I've done in Micro. That's the things that I did this weekend. Went to get some sushi with Jess as well.
Nice.
And then that was pretty much my weekend. Again, at the moment right now, I'm currently enjoying my fun employment right now. So
fun employed reminds me of that SpongeBob episode.
Which one was that?
SpongeBob, you're fired.
Where he went to other jobs and he gets fired too.
Yeah, no. There's a scene where, oh, by the way, that episode's terrible. But there's a scene where Patrick describes SpongeBob's unemployment as fun employment, being fun employed.
Yeah,
and he tries to get SpongeBob to have fun, but then he's so bummed out, and for good reason.
He's bummed out because I think Patrick like gave him some bad advice or something.
No, he's bummed out because he got fired.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, like, everybody goes through that.
Yeah, we all go through that. But eventually we all end up in our fate. And so, yeah, I just hope that we both get full time.
Yeah,
someday, like permanent.
Again, we'll wait and see about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight to our episode. We have a couple of quick news to get through before we get to our main discussion. So let's start off with this particular news. So Bad Guys 2. That movie is coming out real soon. They did drop a trailer while we were away. What are your overall thoughts on the trailer that just got dropped?
The first thing I thought was that, oh yes, let's go. These guys are back and better than ever before. And what I mean better is that they're at least trying to do better, trying to be better people, trying to blend into society. But as you can imagine, things don't work out well for them.
So the thing is that I remember back in the first movie, the bad guys all became bad. Now they became good. And that's how the thing is going to be with them. They're going to follow the role of being good. But from the way I'm seeing the trailer, they first started off good and it didn't go well. For example, like, I remember the wolf trying to like apply for a bank job and he said he robbed the bank many times. This bank?
I've had so many good histories. I've had so many good memories with it. And then that's when the interviewer said, You robbed us many times.
Yeah.
And that got a chuckle out of me.
Because, I actually like that one too.
But yeah, unfortunately, they all try to apply for jobs, but because of their criminal history, it's impossible for them to get a job.
Well, yeah, that's one thing as well. But the thing is, like, they're trying to be good by, like, trying to maintain life being good. Because, like, when they were bad, all the things were going for them. Like, they have the riches, they have so many stuff that they can be able to be take advantage of. And then, like, as you're becoming good, your history of reputation being bad obviously follows along with you. So that means, like, good luck trying to have a good light unto yourself because your reputation of being bad is still, like, is ingrained in their brains.
And I think that's a strong element in the movie, is that no matter how good you try to be currently, your past is going to eventually catch up with you. It's going to bite you in the butt, and it is going to severely impact your chances of getting a job.
I know that they were struggling also. Like I remember like that one there was a scene where like the wolf was trying to like drive a car and this car was like terrible. Yeah. So yeah, they're struggling. It kind of sucks to be good sometimes.
It kind of does, but we do see that they are trying. We generally want them to come out successful in the end because we do know that deep down they are trying to be good. They are trying to be better.
That leads up to a point where like, okay, they've done good, but it has not been working well. Then out of all of a sudden, they get kidnapped by like these three girls, these three girl thieves as well. So what are your thoughts about the fact that they are now these enemies that are coming along to like help them be bad again?
Yeah, so these enemies are the bad girls, and they're called Kitty Cat, Pigtail, and Doom, which makes me think, isn't it kind of strange how Tarantula is part of the bad guys, but Tarantula is a girl herself, so she'd blend right in with the bad girls. But anyway, going back to bad girls, it is interesting how they bring in a new set of bad guys, but the bad girls serve as the antagonists of the sequel. At least that's what the trailers are showing, in that these bad girls represent represent what the bad guys could have been had they not turned good with the influence of Diane Foxington.
Sorry, I lost track of what you said. I just all I know is that those three girls, they just brought them over just to make them be bad again. Although to be fair, there are people that are like looking at them, or looking at the bad guys, thinking like, "Hey, you guys are good. You should, they're going to keep an eye on them, especially that one lady with the glasses and stuff."
The one police cop.
Yeah,
I would say that one police cop is always suspicious of Mr. Wolf because she's always been chasing the bad guys. We've seen her in the first movie as well.
Yes, and remember, she was like tracking him down, like he was like being a bloodhound, trying to make sure these bad guys are caught or something.
So I have a feeling that she'll play a major part in the movie.
She's kind of more of the advisor now, right? She'll like be a babysitter to them.
I would say
like, I'll keep my eye on you. She literally says, "I'll keep my eye on you guys before he gets hit by the shark."
I would say part babysitter, part instigator or investigator, and that she does suspect that the bad guys haven't really turned good, that she's pretty much keeping them in check to make sure that they don't return back to their bad ways.
Well, yeah, that's one thing. And then also the female wolf character as well.
Diane Foxington, the Fox character.
So Diane Foxington, I don't think she's going to be having much of a big role. Yes, she'll be there. I remember her in the trailer, like fighting with the fox. Like she was trying to be training, like doing some boxing with her.
Yeah, she was boxing with Mr. Wolf as Mr. Wolf vents out to her.
But there is no like other scenes where I get to see her in the trailer. Like there's the bad guys. They're trying to steal a rocket or something. And then you see the three bad girls trying to help them steal the rocket and all.
I really do hope that Diane Foxington does have a prominent role in the sequel because she was such an important character in the first movie. She is the core crust, the core element of what helped change the bad guys forever, especially Mr. Wolf. And so I think that Diane Foxington deserves better than to be sidelined like that.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope that they actually do bring in those characters back from the bad guys, because those guys ended up those secondary characters that helped the bad guys out all ended up actually becoming very important roles to say. But then again, these bad girls are coming in, and I'm kind of wondering if they're going to be more important than those other characters, like the police officer, the Foxington girl, because I don't know if they are going to be much importance. I'm pretty sure it's a bad guys versus bad girls like rivalry that's going on in the movie.
Yeah, and with the bad girls, you never know whether or not they'll be full-fledged villains from beginning to end, or that they'll somehow be redeemed as the original bad guys did in the first movie. We never know, but I like how the bad guys, this trailer doesn't, give out anything away important. We have to see the movie for ourselves, which I like.
Yeah, again, I really do love the trailer, not actually revealing a lot of stuff for the movie because, you want to make sure that no big spoilers happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I think the other thing I want to bring up is the comedy. I do believe the comedy is back again. Like, I've been actually liking how the trailer goes, because, like, yes, there is the important parts that happen in the movie, but at the same time, there's the comedy that comes with it. Like the shark guy acting like that one guy with the flower guy.
Yeah, that Mr. Shark guy
Where's my flowers, the cappuccino, and all that? I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing?
he puts on the best disguises. He's definitely the master of disguise from we've seen in the trailer and in the first movie.
Yeah. And yeah, if anything, I do like the shark just being like the the comic relief character in the movie, because like I remember he was also hitting that girl and then he knocked her out. He's like, what was that? And I'm like, oh, I'm panicked. I'm a panica. That kind of thing.
And that's another thing about the bad guys is like the slapstick and the humor are very spot on, and it's very much held by the stylized animation of the bad guys movies.
Oh, the other thing too about the animation, I think it's still same old animation that they used for Bad Guys 1. I mean, there's not really much of a change. It's still like the action scenes are there. And the other thing too about the other thing I also want to bring up is the whole story as well, because like they're going to outer space. Look, they're in outer space in the trailer as well, which kind of tells me like they'll steal the rocket or something. I don't know what's going on in outer space, but I just remember seeing that whole like they're about to freeze over because they're outside, like literally about to die in zero gravity.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they'll be in outer space. And something.
Well, I mean, you saw it in the trailer.
Something tells me that they might be in outer space within the second half of the movie.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that's probably the climactic part in the movie. I'm just saying, like, okay, makes me think, like, what really is the point? Because, like, you have them all going up into outer space and, like, okay, well, I don't know what the whole heist is, because, like, it's a rocket, they're going up, and I'm like, the heist is the rocket, or is it something more than that? There could be something more deep that they're not even discussing, because like I just know that the bad girls need the bad guys' help.
Yeah, something tells me that the mission must be so big up to a point where the bad girls definitely need the bad guys' help in the first place. If they needed their help in the first place, that means it's something really big.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what the bad girls are going to be doing. They might be just stealing for themselves, needing the bad guys' help because they're the masters of being bad.
Yeah.
There's I'm looking up for that. Also, I need that girl and the bird girl and the snake. Like, what's up with that?
It's kind of a weird ship, but based on how the story handles the two, it's a ship that could go really good or really forced.
I don't know about, who knows? I mean,
it is strange though. Like, I never thought that a bird and a snake would be a ship.
Also, to be fair, like, if they actually mate, wouldn't the snake eat the bird, which is what we saw in the trailer?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that when it comes to species-wise, it's kind of an oxymoron. It doesn't work that well, but something tells me that the movie will find a way to make it humorous.
Yeah. Again, there's so many changes when it comes to Bad Guys 1 and Bad Guys 2. Can't wait to see how that all goes down. What else do you want to see in the sequel?
What I want to see in the sequel is, again, Diane Fox, more chemistry between Diane Foxington and Mr. Wolf. Give Diane Foxington a major role in the story like she was in the first movie. I also want to see some development with the police lady that is onto them. I definitely want to see her play a bigger role than she did in the first movie, because in the first movie she was mainly a comic relief sort of character. I do want to see what is the overall history between the police lady and the bad guys. Like, how did she come to find them in the first place?
I thought in the
How'd she come to discover them?
I thought in the first movie she actually was assigned to be like looking after the bad guys,
But I'm saying that maybe she could be a sort of like semi-antagonist where she looks deep into the bad guys because she suspects that they might be bad again.
Well, that's why she's all over them now, because it's like, I'll keep my eye on you guys. Yes, makes sense for her to actually be assigned to the bad guys to make sure that they're not bad again.
And also, the Batgirls are a very interesting trio because the movie could pull them off in many ways. Like I said, they could be either redeemed villains, or they could not be redeemed. They could be evil through and through. We'll see what happens. We already got a twist villain in the first Bad Guys movie. I want to see the Bad Guys sequel take a different take on a villain, on an antagonist.
Again, there's a lot to bring up when it comes to this episode, when it comes to this movie. The thing is, like, I like how, again, I did say this, I like how the Bad Guys 2 people are not really giving up more when it comes to the trailer. I know there are probably going to be more trailers coming out before the August 1st release, but we'll wait and see. The movie is looking to be great, and I really hope it does well to its successor, to say.
I think so. And one interesting trend that I've noticed when it comes to DreamWorks movie franchises is that the second one does tend to be better than the first. Like Shrek 2 over Shrek 1, How to Train Your Dragon 2 over How to Train Your Dragon 1, Kung Fu Panda 2 over Kung Fu Panda 1. This could be the same.
Croods 2 over Croods 1?
Um,
I don't know if they had a movie. I don't know if they had a second movie. Sorry.
They did have a second movie, but that could be an exception. The point is
I'm just saying, I don't know about the whole reputation of DreamWorks movies second being better than the first.
The point is that there were multiple instances where the sequel has ended up being better than the first, so we're wondering if Bad Guys could follow that same trend, that same DreamWorks
Look,
trend.
I'm not going to really bring up a statement like that. All I'm saying, I just hope it's a good movie.
It is going to be a good movie on some level. I just hope it's a good movie overall. Whether or not it will surpass Bad Guys 1, we'll wait and see.
We'll
find out.
Again, it's just a lot to talk about. Again, I'm just hoping from the way that the whole movie is going to look like, I just hope it's a good movie overall.
Hopefully,
Bad Guys 2 is coming out on August 1st by DreamWorks. So make sure you get your tickets before the movie comes out on August 1st.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. So next piece of news that we want to bring up. Now, this cartoon series has not been on for a couple of years now. We're kind of wondering what will happen to the conclusion of this particular series. Is it until now that we finally get to see what happened between these two brothers, to say? And no, I'm not talking about Phineas and Ferb. Let's talk about Gumball, the wonderfully weird world of Gumball. Now, Gumball and Darwin are back with their upcoming shenanigans, only this time they're having a new place to call home, and that is Hulu. Oh, wait. Hulu, not Max?
Yep. Gumball has a brand new place to call home, and it is Hulu.
So, how surprised were you the fact that Gumball's going to be in Hulu, which is on Disney, which is the Disney property, instead of Max, which is Warner Brothers property?
You know, the most surprising thing about Gumball is not that the show is bad, although that did caught me off by surprise in a good way, but it's the fact that it's now under Hulu. Like for some reason, Disney of all places has the streaming rights to Gumball.
I am just surprised about it too. I'm kind of wondering what Max was thinking when it comes to streaming. Well, honestly, I kind of saw that. I don't know if I saw this coming or anything like that, because Gumball did get knocked out of Max's lineup. Like before the announcement of the wonderfully weird world of Gumball, the amazing world of Gumball got knocked out of Max. And you're kind of wondering, oh, where is it now? It's on Hulu. So with the fact that Gumball is back, they decided to put it on Hulu, which is kind of like, okay, I guess the new home destination for this said series is on Hulu now.
Yeah, so Gumball is back and better than ever, well, based on what we've seen, and it is on Hulu. It is on Hulu.
Okay, here's the thing about it. Back, for sure. Better than ever? I can't say.
I mean, we don't know yet, but I'm saying that, like, based on what we've seen, it's still good for them to be back.
The whole thing is, like, it's only a 1-minute clip. It showed Gumball and Darwin literally waking up in dust, and it kind of makes sense considering, like, what, it's been 8 years since the last episode of Gumball, and you're thinking like they just took a sleep and it's been 8 years since then. So I'm kind of wondering what happened to the rest of the characters that are also in Gumball. And look at the whole like background, it's all dusty too.
Yeah, so Gumball's town is no longer this bright, sunny, creative setting. No, it's old and dusty.
Yeah, because it's 8 years.
Which just makes sense considering it is 8 years, so of course it would look like that.
Yeah.
So we do get insight into what it looks like and how they have been ever since then. And yeah, you can definitely tell it's been a long time since they've come back.
Yeah, so it has been quite a while. The last episode of Gumball did air 8 years ago, to say, from what they're talking about here. It did end up with like them in high school or something like that. I gotta have to remember for that last episode, but I do remember something about a human actually being there, being a part of the Gumball now. It also does remind me of like the other characters that are also there too. I wonder what's gonna happen with them. I'm assuming they're gonna be back as well. But at the moment right now, the only thing that we saw was Gumball and Darwin. Both of them just woke up after 8 years and then they went back to sleep. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder what's also happened to their family members like Nicole, Anais, and Larry, and what about their friends like, let's say, Penny and stuff?
Yeah. That's a good question too, because they have their own stories as well, and what happened to them, who knows? And even that one guy that was also very corrupted, I wonder what happened to him, because he also has a story in Gumball. Like, he wants to take down Gumball and Darwin, But now, what happened to him? Like, is he back? Is he evil again? It's kind of like the same. It's kind of like saying the same Chip Whistler guy over Big City Greens.
So he's a Chip Whistler of Gumball.
Yes. He just pops out of nowhere randomly and it wants to destroy Gumball and Darwin. So
I don't know, but I will say this: the teaser definitely got a kick out of me. I think the best part about it was that little line of dialogue where Gumball asks, "How long has it been?" To which Darwin was like, 8 years. And I like that breaking the fourth wall joke. That clever joke was written there.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows by now. Like, Gumball has been out for so long that they have to make this joke somewhere.
And it fits well into the realm of Gumball because Gumball is known for its meta humor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, you said you haven't really watched Gumball that much.
I've watched some episodes of Gumball, but not all of them.
Yeah.
I look at it as background noise. It's a show that I like to watch.
It is definitely something like sitcom-y to say, because most of the episodes just reflect about Gumball and his friends and all the things chaotic about it. I just remember watching the first season of Gumball, and I really loved how the animation was because it literally took real life elements and just put the animated characters on there.
Yeah, like one thing about Gumball, it's one of the most experimental animated shows we've ever seen, based on the different amount of animation. How they design the characters, they all look so distinct from the animation styles, not just the character designs.
Yeah, I just remember before, like the animation style before felt like it was like really nice and like played out. Mm-hmm. This time around, it's kind of more like bubbly and cartoony, which it is what Gumball is. And from the way I'm seeing that new trailer after 8 years, it's the same thing that they've done in the past couple other seasons they had. So
yeah, it definitely brings back the spirit of Gumball. You look at this and you think Gumball definitely is back.
Yeah. I definitely think Gumball is back, but to be fair, it's only 1 minute long, so that's not really much information there. It is back, which is great. I don't know what other episodes are coming out for Gumball. I know it's coming out real soon. But I just love the fact that if we're going back to its own shenanigans of Gumball. Like, you know, Gumball being him silly self. I don't know what other big references are going to be coming for Gumball, because they have put a lot of references, by the way. Like, what was it? There was an episode of Gumball where they cut the budget and animation went all the way down to like a freaking notepad.
And it comes back to what I was saying about Gumball really nailing the meta humor.
Do you actually remember a couple episodes that you liked from Gumball?
I remember the one episode of Gumball. It was one of the earliest episodes, but it's one I could distinctly remember. Is the one where Gumball and Darwin trying to get back the doll from the T-Rex.
I love that one. Yeah.
Because there's more to that T-Rex than what.
Yeah,
it
Tina's not a like huge T-Rex person herself. Yes.
Like, Tina is a T-Rex, but she's not a full-on bully.
Well, here's the thing. Like, they all think Tina's just so big and just a freaking monster and stuff. So,
but no, she has a softer side to it, which I like. And also the one where Gumball and Darwin go to this dance, you know.
Oh, I love that one too. And then he didn't ask, like, Gumball didn't ask out Penny, he asked out Tina. And then Darwin starts to be himself, but then I think that one girl who hosted the party, like
she liked Darwin.
She liked Darwin, yeah.
Despite the fact that she's too old for him, but
what the fuck, she's a teenager, man.
Hey, do you think Darwin hooked up with this one ghost girl?
No, I think the ghost girl forced her on him.
Like there's this ship between Darwin and the ghost girl that I often see in DeviantArt.
Carrie?
Yeah, Carrie. Darwin and Carrie.
Oh, Ghost Girl. Sorry, it was a Cloud Girl. Sorry, that's the other girl. Yeah.
Yeah, like Darwin and Carrie, they do look cute together. What do you think?
No. Again, that wasn't really much. I guess people ship it, but like that wasn't an official ship.
But then again, Gumball. The official ship is Gumball and Penny.
Gumball and Penny is the official ship. I also was kind of realizing like what Penny is, because like out of that shell, I think you know the redesign of Penny, right? Like she became like a rainbow girl. She's not a peanut anymore. She's actually like a rainbow girl now.
Yeah, it does show how Penny has evolved.
Yeah, because like she pretty much broke out of her shell and she became that. Yes, I don't know what she is in particular, but yeah.
And I think that the series premiere of this new Gumball show is going to answer many questions.
It's gonna pick up back from where it was. I mean, obviously, the first thing that's gonna come up is the family. What's happened to Nicole? What happened to
Larry?
What happened to the dad? I forgot his name. Also,
Larry.
No,
Was it
Larry's,
Larry, or
Larry.
was it-
No. Larry's the guy that goes to every job.
Yeah, the pink rabbit.
Yeah, that big rabbit. I just forgot his name. Maybe people in the chat can let me know.
Yeah.
Anais, obviously, that's her as well. But there's just so many like characters I totally forgot about in Gumball.
Richard. I think Richard.
Yeah,
Watson.
Richard Watson. Yeah,
Richard
God damn it.
Watson.
God
I
damn
just
it.
remember now. It's been a long time since we've seen Gumball. How are we
I know.
supposed to the
How do
names?
we even know our characters anymore? To be fair, like Gumball is currently airing on Cartoon Network, but again, you can only watch it on Hulu. So
We can watch it on Hulu, and yeah, the main thing I want to ask is what happened to all of them during those 8 years of Gumball and Darwin in that room?
they're gonna probably,
especially Penny. I want to know what happened to Penny. Are Gumball and Penny still a thing?
I don't know. That's a good question as well. But yeah, I mean, catching up on Gumball, you can just watch it on Hulu. I am excited to see how Gumball is going to be now. Because like it kind of like has that same feeling of what Phineas and Ferb is now, because Phineas and Ferb never came back after it's 10 years ever since Phineas and Ferb came back, and I'm currently watching on Disney Plus. It's a fun show. It's back to the old comedy that we see from Phineas and Ferb. Oh, there you are, Perry. I know what we're gonna do today, and what you doing? Those catchphrases that happen.
Yeah, I actually watched the first episode of Phineas and Ferb, and I thought, okay, that's actually not bad based on the fact of how they went a different direction in the second half.
And they have done a lot of other things to the characters. Like, look, you could probably see this on Twitter, by the way. Vanessa's hanging out with Candace now. And then, to be fair, I need to watch, what was it, Candace Against the Universe, because I believe that's what happened.
Also, Doofenshmirtz has an Instagram.
Okay, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about that. Even Candace has a smartphone now. And then somebody literally pointed out on Twitter saying, like, Candace, you have a smartphone. Can you like take a picture of Phineas and Ferb doing something and show it to your mom so that she can know that they can get busted there?
Exactly. It's like, really? She didn't think that?
Yeah.
Of that? Come on.
Gumball is probably gonna go through that same thing as well. Remember, this has been 8 years, so things have changed. Who knows? More social media sites may have popped up. Their TikTok can probably pop up as well.
For a fact that Gumball is going to parody the hell out of social media, especially TikTok and Instagram.
Maybe probably an episode called The Social Media or something. Or
the social
this,
media.
Or the this, or the that. Because I remember every title is called The Something. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me think Gumball is definitely going to have an episode called The Social Media where it's going to parody the hell out of Instagram and TikTok.
Again, I don't know what they have in mind, but to be fair, they have been working on this for quite some time. I don't know if I know there was supposed to be some sort of movie that's supposed to be coming out for Gumball, but that never got announced.
Unfortunately,
there is a new series that is coming out on Hulu. That is pretty much the story that we've got so far. And if we got a movie announcement for Gumball, we'll have to talk about that in another episode to say.
And it goes back to what I was saying, expect a lot of meta humor to come out of Gumball, especially the fact that they're going to keep mentioning and referencing the fact that, it's been 8 years since they came back. So you're going to hear a lot of jokes about that.
Oh, yeah. I got nothing much to say about Gumball. I am excited for the brand new series, and I'm just hoping, now that we're going to watch it on Hulu, I just hope it gets to be successful over there than whatever whatever that happened over there in Max.
Yeah, so strap on in and get into the wonderfully weird world of Gumball.
Yeah, such a great show. Can't wait for it to come on Hulu, which is coming out later this year.
Yeah,
we didn't have a premiere date for this.
We don't have an exact release date, but we do know it's coming out later on in 2025.
Oh yeah. All right. Last piece of news that we want to discuss tonight is this particular brand new show from the team that worked on Rick and Morty. They had a brand new adult animated series coming to Netflix called Haunted Hotel. This has been made by Matt Roller, who was heavily involved in Rick and Morty. There are other key Rick and Morty staff members that are also in this cartoon, that are currently being made in this cartoon, such as Dan Harmon, who served as one of the executive producers of the show. So the fact is, like, most of the team from Rick and Morty are going to be involved with this new Netflix show called Haunted Hotel. How excited are you about this new series on Netflix?
Now, the fact that we get a brand new Netflix show called A Haunted Hotel, and from what I've seen in the promo image, the animation actually does look pretty good. I'm going to say that while I'm not a fan of Rick and Morty anymore, I will say that the fact that it was created by Matt Roller, who was the writer and story editor, is a sign that it could turn out to be really good, like the first 2 Rick and Morty seasons, or it could be really bad, like season 3 onwards. It could go in either direction.
So here's what I have when it comes to this particular series. The Rick and Morty team has been going through this for many seasons, and it's going to continue on and on and on. I've seen how Rick and Morty is being treated on Adult Swim is pretty much their mainstay show at the moment. So
yeah, they're gonna keep milking it.
They're gonna keep milking Rick and Morty, and I'm like, that's fine. You know what? If it's gonna bring Adult Swim money with Rick and Morty, let them be.
I'm like, you guys can enjoy Rick and Morty. We'll enjoy this.
But here's the thing. Like, some members come and go, like what Matt Brawley did with Big City Greens moving on to Amphibia. This is probably the same story that happens with Matt Roller when he moves off from Rick and Morty and starts making his own show. So he has that same humor. He has that same ideas that came from Rick and Morty. Is probably going to be implemented to this brand new show that he has going on called Haunted Hotel.
Yeah, and there are even some, let's say, for example, there's also some, Loud House staff members that are creating their own show, like Wild Pack, for example. So what I'm saying is that when it comes to animation, there are some employees, that work on animation that build their careers.
Yeah, like I'm not saying like this is an oncoming thing. This is something like animators do once they get their idea being pitched, then they lose focus on the one that they're working on and focus on obviously the one that they're creating,
Yeah, their passion project. And I'm saying, like, I root for each and every animated project to succeed because that is how we have the animation name growing, is with projects like these succeeding.
Right, exactly. So this series, Haunted Hotel, talks about a single mother who has 2 children, and she runs a haunted hotel. Obvious right there. She has the help of a deceased and estranged brother who thinks he and other ghosts have good ideas on how to help the family operate the hotel. So it's interesting because it's like a mix between life and afterlife. You have like ghosts, you have humans working together to get this hotel going. But to be fair, like the humans are the one running the hotel, the ghosts are the ones that are haunting the hotel. What ideas come to mind when you hear the plot line of this story?
When I think of this plot line, I thought to myself, okay, this is the adult animated cartoon equivalent of Hotel Transylvania. Like, it's sort of like a adult Hotel Transylvania in a sense, except instead of different monsters, it's actually ghosts, but they're still haunted, spooky hotels in a sense. And I think this is a really intriguing storyline, especially I want to see character development in the ghosts themselves. Like, how do the ghosts...
I really have to understand like how the ghost goes, because like remember the deceased brother I think is also involved, and to be fair, like he's a ghost himself, and I don't know how the whole conjuring things happen because like the human mom is literally with her brother, and how do they see each other? How is that a possibility?
Yeah, how did she come to see ghosts in the first place? How did her kids come to see ghosts in the first place? I think that all that will be explained.
I really do love the fact that like the son, I'm looking at the picture right now. The son is liking this one girl who's a ghost. I'm like, oh.
Not only that, but also if you look at the sister, she is...
I think she's crazy. She's crazy, yeah. I don't know. She thinks she's crazy. She's doing conjuring things right there in that picture.
She's one of those that are into the supernatural, want to create chaos by bringing all these ghosts.
But here's the thing, like the haunted hotel will bring in guests. So I'm assuming like there'll probably be like a family coming into the hotel, and at the same time, like the mom is trying to make sure like no demons, no spirits come out of the hotel to scare them off because they need money to continue running the hotel.
Yeah, so when I look at the brother and sister duo, I think to myself that the mom must be like the straight normal person that's trying to keep everything in check, while her brother, her strange deceased brother, is a chaotic one.
There. Well, where's the chaotic one?
Like the ghost, like her brother's the one that's the wacky one of the 2 siblings.
I can imagine like him being the wacky one. The thing is that he has to maintain order when it comes to the other ghosts that are currently like haunting out there. Because he wants to maintain the hotel, but as it being haunted, there are obviously a lot of ghouls, a lot of ghosts that are gonna do their own thing instead of like taking care of humans or anything like that.
I think the one character that actually has managed to grab me the most, the character that looks the most interesting, though, is a girl sitting right over there with the briefcases.
I have a feeling she just was a guest. She's just a guest, and I think she's just staying in a room somewhere, just doing some like dark magic conjuring or something.
Something tells me that she's going to be a parody of Wednesday.
I have a feeling she's also friends with that little sister girl too.
Yeah,
They could be good friends. I mean, look, she's conjuring up stuff, and I'm assuming that girl in the cart right there is probably giving her tips on how to conjure up like underworld people, like zombies in the bottom there.
I could see them work together as BFFs. They do have that contrasting personalities that make their friendship legitimately work.
Yeah, and again, I also see like other things in the picture. Sorry, I'll bring it up to you guys again so you guys can see the whole entire picture we're talking about. There's like creatures on the top of the ceiling, so I'm assuming the ghosts are the one being involved with that. There's a serial killer hanging on top of a chandelier, and I'm wondering, okay, we're talking about serial killers that are also coming down to kill humans.
And there's just like squid or octopus.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's creatures up top of the thing, and I'm assuming the ghosts are summoning it.
Yeah, there's like creatures from top to bottom, so it's not just ghosts, but it's primarily ghosts.
Not really creatures. That's a zombie down there for sure.
It's a zombie, so something tells me that the haunted hotel is going to have more than just ghosts. It's going to have creatures of all kinds. In a way, it goes back to what I was saying. Like, could be right. This could be R-rated Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, which I think is going to be better. I mean, at the moment right now, Adult Swim is doing really well. Oh, no, it's not Adult, this is Netflix, by the way. But Adult Swim is doing well with their humor on their cartoons. So it makes sense why this person who pretty much like got the humor from Rick and Morty is now making his own cartoon. And to be fair, it looks to be well animated. It's not like the same animation that you see from Rick and Morty. The eyes are the pupils are actually like full circles, not like freaking stars.
Yeah, the animation definitely looks distinct.
Yeah.
What I like about it's not copying off another animation style.
Yeah, if anything, it kind of reminds me of like some other anime. Again, I'm trying to remember the cartoon, but like it's so different compared to like what Rick and Morty was before.
Yeah,
like Craptopolis, maybe something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And also, it's similar to shows like, say, animation style-wise, not really much else. I like how shows have distinct animation styles that doesn't feel like a copy off of one particular anime show. Inside Job, for example, has its own animation style as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't remind you of any other show.
Although, to be fair, it kind of does remind me of, like, Gravity Falls somewhat, from the way the animation style looks like.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's like when it comes to
like
it doesn't have.
It definitely has the same similarities of like a cartoon. If you're talking about Inside Job, so
yeah, if you're talking similarities between Inside Job and Gravity Falls, it's more like the story aspects, like the mystery and the supernatural.
No, I'm just talking
elements.
about if you're talking about character design, because like the character design of Regan definitely looks familiar to someone, like in another cartoon.
It also helps that Shion, the creator of Inside Job, was involved in Gravity Falls, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so maybe that also leads up to it, but who knows?
Could be.
Again, it looks to be a fun series for Haunted Hotel. I can't wait for it. Definitely coming out on Netflix, but yeah.
I'll be checking it out as soon as I can. Haunted Hotel is one of those I want to support.
Yeah, so Haunted Hotel is coming out on Netflix on September 19th. So if you're a fan of Rick and Morty or a fan of like pretty funny humor that is coming on Netflix, then check out Haunted Hotel, which is coming out this September.
Yes.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our main story tonight, and let's talk about Gravity Falls. Yes, a beloved cartoon that we've all loved and enjoyed. We're wearing our Gravity Falls gear right now. It kind of tells us how big fans we are.
Yes. And by the way, speaking of which, time for a little change.
What? Oh, why did you bring the dipper hat? Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
You know I had to bring this vacation.
I thought you only had the grappling hook shirt. That's what I was thinking.
By the way, got to rep my girl Mabel here.
Yeah, you got
Best
the
character.
Mabel shirt. Okay.
I also got to represent Dipper in a way, so I bought the Dipper ad. It's the Pines twins represent.
Yeah. All right, so tonight we're going to be breaking down all the characters of Gravity Falls, and we're going to go through a tier episode again, like we've done before. So we're going to bring out our tier maker again, and we're going to bring out who's the best characters of Gravity Falls, who's the worst characters of Gravity Falls. We're going to discuss it, debate on it, and we'll see which characters will be on the best tier, which ones are going to be in the worst tier tonight.
One thing about Gravity Falls is that Gravity Falls has a wide variety of unique, unforgettable characters. Like each and every one of them really stand out on their own with their personality traits, their actions, and all that kind of stuff. And even their character designs. Like they have distinct character designs if you look at them closely.
Yeah, which is true.
So yeah, we've held this show dear in our hearts for many years, and it's time we celebrate right now.
Yeah, so sorry. I'm going to go ahead and actually get things started here.
Yes.
So let's actually go overall with all the characters. We have 40 characters to break down tonight, and yeah, I mean, I'm already saying probably we're going to agree that Mabel's probably the top one. But again, we're going to debate on that tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get ready to debate.
I don't know about that. I like Dipper more, but
Yo, you and me are going to debate best Pine Twins. Let's go.
I mean, to be fair, like I think the Pine Twins are going to win nonetheless. But yeah,
they're still going to be top 2 regardless. But it's just a matter of which one we prefer over the other. If we had to choose,
You had to choose. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get set up here. But again, I just hate these advertisements. It just stinks because like when you go to tiermaker, they'll be putting up ads no matter what. So
yeah, it's sad reality. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have our board, which is already here. I'll let you guys look at the screen here for just a second. Let me. Oh god, I gotta go full screen here. Me setting up everything is just sometimes a mess.
Especially a tier maker, how it can be a mess itself.
Well, we can do this. I need to put the window capture. Let me check. Is that window capture? Oh, there we go. Yeah, window capture. But that's not what I was looking for. The window. It has to be the tier maker. Yeah, that's it. But it's not showing. Oh, there we go. All right, we gotta break this down a little bit here. Crap, that's not how you do it. That's not how you do it either. Or maybe I can do it like this. I guess that works. There we go. Again, the advertisers are going to ruin it all, so I'm very sorry about that. But
yeah, go away, wedding registry. We don't care about whatever wedding you guys are going to. It's just
they're seeing something about Galaxy S25 here.
No one likes Crate and Barrel.
They're different advertisements, by the way. Okay, that might work out a little bit there. You know what? I'm gonna try. Let me do this here. Fuck. Come on. Is it window cap? Yeah, it's window capture. It's just that this is in the middle now. Again, advertisements are going to ruin it all. Let me reload. Let's see what happens. Okay, that might help. It helps a little bit, but again, the advertisements are gonna probably be around there, if anything. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go ahead and get things started and actually go straight to our tier maker here.
Let's go.
So yeah, 40 characters that we're gonna break down for Gravity Falls. Again, we'll have to be debating on which one's which. Which one is gonna be like on certain tiers. So if you guys look at the tier list, we have God tier, great tier, good tier, okay tier, bad tier. So this is where again it's like from S all the way to like F.
Yeah, so yeah, you got to think of it that way. God tier is S tier, and so on and so forth. So
yeah. All right. So the first person that we're going to bring up is Abuela, which is Zeus's mom.
Abuela, Zeus's grandma.
Zeus's grandma. Out of all, well, to be fair, like she did appear up in more episodes. So
I will say that even though she is technically a supporting character, she really does a massively great job as an abuela for Zeus, encouraging him to grow and also. And she was also there for Zeus when Zeus's dad couldn't make it for his birthday. Like she was the closest thing to a parental figure that he ever had that isn't Grunkle Stan.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, I look back at that episode where Zeus was a kid. Yes. She actually was there, and the other thing too is like his dad was also a terrible dad as well. So
yeah, the deadbeat dad. Ay, Zeus is the deadbeat.
Yes, that's true.
Zeus' father was a deadbeat. And then she was speaking Spanish about how she wants to kill him and all that.
Okay, awesome. To be fair, like yes, there's some comedy when it comes to her, but she doesn't really give me like good vibes. She doesn't really give me like great vibes to say. I feel like she's an okay character, so I'm kind of like putting her in the okay tier at the moment.
I think she's better than okay. I'm not gonna say she's great, but she's a good tier.
She's that great? I don't know about that.
Good tier. No, I'm not saying she's great. She's a good tier.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, we want to at least try to make sure we break down some of the characters, make sure that they go to their specific tier. We can't just put them all the way at the top, okay? So we want to spread it out. So that's why I'm saying good tier in my case.
I'll say good.
So you say good as well? Okay.
I've always said good. I'm not saying...
Oh, sorry.
I said good.
I was going to say okay. Sorry, okay tier. My bad. Fine. We'll put it good. Although there's another character that I must say is not good as Bill Cipher.
Now, not good in the sense of not heroic, if you mean by that, but in terms of character-wise and how much of a villain he is, I'm gonna tell you, God tier.
Oh man, maybe you're right about that, but holy fuck, I don't know if I want to put a freaking evil freaking triangle in a God tier.
Bill Cipher is basically the mascot of the
we're
show.
really putting a freaking triangle. I mean, to be fair, like, he's chaotic. He made Weird Mageddon, and like, he's a bad manipulator. He steals freaking people's bodies, and like, he steals Dipper's body one time. Grunkle, what was there? Stanford Pines went through his like freaking torture. I don't know if I really want to put him in God tier, but like, ugh.
The reason I put him in God tier is literally because Bill Cipher, in a way, is sort of like God, an anti-God. He's a demon. So what makes Bill Cipher genuinely work is, well, he's a mascot of the entire Gravity Falls show. Without Bill Cipher, Gravity Falls wouldn't be Gravity Falls without Bill Cipher.
Yeah. That is another thing to also bring up, but holy moly. To put him in God tier, oh jeez.
Yes.
I was gonna put him in I was just gonna put him in great tier, but like, okay, if we're gonna put him in God tier, he's gotta be lower. He's gotta be in a low God tier.
Bill Cipher will come haunt you if you put him in low in the God.
My thing is like, man, yeah, he is kind of like an eternal god, because like, yes, we can defeat him, but who knows, he could still be around. I read the Book of Bill, so he could still be around, guys.
And when you read the Book of Bill, you just love Bill Cipher even more as a character.
Fine. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go put him in the god tier. Sure. Oh boy. All right. How about Blendin' Blendin'?
Blendin'. Now, ignoring the fact that he was voiced by...
Forget about the voice actor, just the character, okay?
All right. Ignoring the voice actor, Blendin' Blendin' just comes off as, I don't know how to best describe it. He's funny, but he's a bit wishy-washy in a way.
Okay, so he's, I think, an innocent guy who got screwed over by the Pines. That's the reason why, like, he was doing his mission to, like, what is it, finish up and, like, clean up anomalies that was going on. I mean, in the first season of Gravity Falls, he was everywhere. Like, he did pop up in random episodes of Gravity Falls. Then we also know the reason why. He was trying to fix anomalies, and unfortunately, he got screwed over by the Pines, the reason why he got arrested. And at the same time, he wanted to get revenge on the Pines, and that's why the second episode in season 2 happened. So, this is an interesting character. I would say this. He did return again, though, like in the before the episode where Mageddon happened,
where he was possessed by.
But he was possessed by Bill Cipher. He unfortunately took a deal with Bill Cipher. So, I would say probably good tier in my case. Like, you might say like he might be okay tier ish to say, but in my case, I say good.
I'll say okay tier.
So you're thinking okay for Blendin' Blendin'?
I'll say okay. Like, I will say like. He's a bit average. Like, I'm not gonna say he's one of the best Gravity Falls characters, but he's not one of the worst either. He was okay to me.
So you're putting him okay.
But you put him in good. And
no, you know what? I think you might be in the right case. I think you might be okay in this case. Yeah. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll go put him in okay. So Blendin' Blendin' in the okay tier. Here we go. Is that Sheriff Blubbs right there?
That is Sheriff Blubbs.
All right. So Sheriff Blubbs. What about him?
Sheriff Blubbs, I like what they did with him and Deputy Durlin in the end, but despite that, but even without the ending, Sheriff Blubbs just comes off as a
well, to be he has been useful sometimes. I remember that episode where like they had that Founders Day episode where like he was protecting like the president, the very stupid president that they had.
There are times where, for the most part, he was funny. There were a few moments though where he and Deputy Durlin were a bit cringe. But
so they weren't really like great characters overall. They're technically obviously background characters to say.
Yeah, but they were overall humorous, funny characters, which I say good characters.
Okay, I do love the fact that they were canon at the end, both definitely Durlin and Sheriff Blubbs. But to be fair, like, he's just a character that was just there to have fun. I don't know. There wasn't really like big impact when it comes to him. There was something huge about him in the end, but like again. Nothing really great about him. I would say good. I would say okay in my case.
In a way, he serves as one of the many examples of incompetent police officers. But that's a common cartoon trope. Like I could say Chief Wiggum, for example.
Okay.
And I would say like Sheriff Blood is definitely like the Chief Wiggum of the show.
So you would put him in good, but if I put him in good, then we have to put him right behind Abuela then.
I would say Below Abuela, yes.
So
Because
below Abuela? Okay.
it goes back to what I was saying about Abuela being a respectable character.
Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Oh man. Okay, this is not working again. Oh, here we go. What about Gideon's dad?
Not really.
So explain your thoughts here.
Bud Gleeful is who enables Gideon's behavior when you really do think about it. Also, the fact of how he's, of course, this typical sleazy businessman trying to sell cars. There's not much to him other than the fact that he does, serve as kind of like the bumbling dad who is also has a bit of a antagonistic side himself in a way. Look at the election episode, for example.
Yeah.
Bud Gleeful isn't really one of the most memorable characters.
Blood Gleeful, he really isn't doing much. He mostly is a person who just supports his son.
Yeah.
And Gideon himself is like, a bad son himself. So, God, I guess I wouldn't say bad. I would say okay in my case.
You want to say okay?
Yeah, I would say okay in my case. I mean, there wasn't really anything bad about Bud Gleeful. He was just like a person. End of the election episode was one thing, but he was trying his best to be the next mayor of Gravity Falls. Again, there wasn't really much big about him too, so I say okay.
Okay, but below Blendon.
Blendon Blandon, you want that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Blendon Blandon.
So right there?
Yes.
We're putting him there? Okay. Alright, next up, Candy. One of Mabel's best friends.
Candy Chew is just straight up adorable.
Oh, I think so too.
Yes, it's like I kind of want to adopt her,
Oh my gosh.
Candy Chew is, is a sweet character, but she can be very deadly at times. Like there's just something about her she has that edge in that which I really like, and it's also helped by the fact she's a adorable girl who is of course into boys and all that kind of stuff. The same stuff that Maple is into.
Uh-huh.
And plus that episode of her on road trip was just like her peak appearance.
Because it was the time where she had a crush on Dipper.
Yeah, but road trip is what I consider to be the weakest episode of Gravity Falls.
Well, that was kind of more Dipper's case, because Dipper kind of was a playboy or something. Oh, hitting up on other girls, trying to get away from Wendy.
I mean, I still enjoyed Road Trip. It wasn't a bad episode. There's no such thing as a bad Gravity Falls episode.
Yeah, I don't think it was bad. It's just more kind of cringe, because Dipper was kind of like the playboy or something, and then Candy. I mean, I really do like Candy. Just having a crush on Dipper was pretty cute.
But I'm saying Candy Chew, Road Trip. Say what you will about the episode, but that was Candy Chew's best appearance.
It was because it's the only episode where we get to see her actually have good freaking character development.
Exactly, and it's also helped that she becomes a badass at the end. She saves the day.
That's true as well. But yeah, so I put Candy actually in the I wouldn't say God tier, maybe great tier in my case.
I'll say great tier because she's mainly there to be one of Mabel's best friends. Other than the road trip episode, she feels more like a supporting character.
Yeah, I think, well, if anything, I would probably put her in great tier as well. So yeah, we'll just put her in great tier in this case.
Great tier, yes.
Yeah. What about Wendy's dad?
Wendy's dad is definitely an interesting character by how...
There wasn't really much development when it comes to Wendy's dad. He only was a strong guy. In your face! That was mostly him.
See, even with all these character tropes that are in Gravity Falls, they always manage to make it humorous, if not have be more fleshed out development, at least give it a humor. And he was one of those cases where he was legitimately funny. So
yeah, I guess really funny. There wasn't really much anything about him. He's just the strong dad of Wendy Corduroy's family.
What I want to see, what I would love to see though, is the character development of Wendy, the relationship between Wendy and her family. And I feel like,
although we didn't get any of that though, unfortunately,
there was a missed opportunity to have legitimate bond between Wendy and her dad.
So again, there wasn't really much emphasis on Wendy's dad. All I know is that he's just a very strong guy, a very strong axeman, and there are some funny moments that happen. But I think his character development ended after the first season. We did see parts of him in the first season, helping Dipper out, figure out what happened to the wax museum and stuff. And then after that, it's just mostly, we just know him as just Wendy's dad. That's it.
Yeah. It's just him as the stereotypical lumberjack.
Yeah. Again, it wasn't much about him, so I must say good. I say he's just in the good tier.
He's basically Paul...
Okay tier.
He's Paul Bunyan if he was on steroids.
Okay.
Basically.
Sure. But yeah, I think in my case, he's okay.
Yeah, I'll say okay as well. There could have been much more.
Where would you put him in the okay tier?
I'll say in between Blandon and Bud Gleeful.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there too. So we'll do that. He did he have a name? I just forgot his name. If anything.
What I do know is that he's a lumberjack. He's Wendy's dad. I'm trying to remember the name of him.
Yeah, I don't remember his name particular, but yeah. How about Deputy Durland?
Deputy Durland's the exact same character as Sheriff Blubbs. It's basically it's kind of basically the same type of character, but I do like their chemistry, especially at the near end. But I will say like Deputy Durland is definitely in the same level as his partner.
Yeah, because they're both technically the same character to say, but like I feel like Deputy Durland is more sillier than Blubbs.
Well, for obvious, and it makes sense given the fact that Blubbs is sheriff, Durland's deputy, so of course he's going to be sillier than his counterpart.
The Deputy Durland, I think, kind of annoys me a little bit more, honestly.
God.
There have been times where like I was wondering what is going on with Durland, because like there were times where he got like stung by the needles and stuff. I remember there was like the short, for example, where they were all like in streetwear to say. I remember, I was like, what was Durland wearing? I'm like, okay, honestly, I like Blubbs more than Durland, to be fair. And like Durland could be silly, kind of childish, to be fair. I got a whistle. I got a bell. Wink. That's
he sure loves his bell.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, he does that. I'm like, okay, that kind of makes me feel a little bit annoyed about him. But to be fair, he is still a good deputy. I still say he's still in the good tier, but like probably below Blubbs.
Definitely like below Blubbs, yeah. It's an appropriate ranking for him.
Okay, so definitely Durland is there below Blubbs. We'll do the same thing over here. Oh, here comes the OG himself, Mr. Dipper Pines.
We know where to put this lad.
Put him on the top. Just put him on the top. Put him on the top even better than Bill. Forget Bill. He's going on the top.
We know where to put this little lad. Up on top.
Yeah, he's the protagonist. He's an absolutely great character.
It also helps that we both cosplayed as him.
Forget about the cosplay. I was just more of with like how awesome he is. I mean, to be fair, he's kind of is what a 10-year-old kid is. Like he's shy, he's like timid, he has crushes on certain people.
12-year-old.
12-year-old. Sorry, 12-year-old. He's just growing up and everything. He's trying to be 13 years old, you know.
And it plays it to the family element of Gravity Falls, and it plays it to the theme of, fear of growing up. And I feel like with both Dipper and Maple, Gravity Falls does tackle with the both of them.
Yeah, so I will probably be with them here and probably put Dipper on the top here. So yeah, I think we're all going to agree with that, right? Dipper is going to be on the top.
Dipper above Bill, yes.
All right. Okay, something's happening with my page here. Sorry. Get up. There we go. Oh my god. Again, sorry, there's something going on with this thing. Oh. This is why I need a new laptop.
Yeah, maybe there could be a Black Friday deal.
All right. Either way, we put Dipper on the top tier. So how about that guy right there? That was Mabel's boyfriend before.
Well, not boyfriend, but more like love interest. One of the best episodes of Gravity Falls, by the way, sock opera.
Okay.
And of course you got this kid who is into puppets. I mean, really, really into puppets to a fault. And so, the best way to describe him is that like he had potential to be a great character, but then his sick love of puppets is what can make him come off as cringy.
Well, to be fair, Mabel just absolutely likes him, and just because he's just good looking.
Yeah.
I just remember like her absolutely going gaga for him. Bump, 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 bump. Remember the whole freaking book? That's in the library. And she even had to make her own sock puppet little theater also.
Yeah, but he does serve a purpose in Maple's character growth in that the more she falls in love, the more she comes to learn about...
It stinks that he only had one episode, unfortunately. But I don't know about him. He just loves puppets, and he loves entertaining kids, but the puppets that he does, it's literally sock puppets that he does, by the way. And you know what? I think he's just a normal kid, to be fair. Like, if he likes being into sock puppets, and let him be like that. But I can understand the cringeness that happens to it, but I still think he's a good character, so I put him in good tier.
I would say okay, but if you want to go for good, then by all means,
okay, if you were going to put him in okay, where'd you put him in okay tier?
Below Deputy Durland.
No, sorry. Okay tier. Okay tier is the one that's below him.
Oh, you want to put him in the okay tier?
No, so if you were to put him in okay tier, where would you put him?
I would put him in between Wendy's dad and Bud.
That bad? He's that bad? I would probably say like above Blendon.
Above Blendon? Really? You put him that good?
Or above Wendy's dad, because like, they look, Wendy's dad really didn't have anything, and at least that guy that was Babel's boyfriend, I think he had a little bit more development than what Wendy's dad had.
Really? Like, you go that far, even though, well, okay, yeah, technically, it is kind of sad when a boy from one episode has more development than, the character, a recurring character, by the way, is supposed to be
not really recurring, because like in the second season we don't see him anymore. Like, he really doesn't appear. He didn't appear in Weird Mageddon either. So,
well, I mean, he did only appear as background character, like a cameo.
There was nothing about him. That's what kind of tells me, like, first season there was something, second season there was nothing. So that's why I'm kind of like saying there was something about the kid, the sock puppet kid that made me think like, hey, he had a little bit more character development. So I say, if more character development happens to him, he has more feelings towards me. So I will say, I would say maybe better than Wendy's dad in my case.
All right, well, we'll just go ahead and put it there.
Yeah, we'll do that. Cool. So you agree with me too? Over Wendy's dad?
Over Wendy's dad, sure.
Right. We'll do that. Oh god, the next person up is Gideon.
Gideon Gleeful.
Okay. Your thoughts about Gideon Gleeful?
I'm gonna say Gideon is a funny as hell kid villain. Like, Gideon actually did come off as a legit. He came off as funny yet threatening. Sort of like Bill Cipher, but not nearly as god tier's Bill Cipher.
Yeah, okay. I don't know about Gideon, because, like, first off, he's creepy. He was freaking, like, sniffing Mabel's hair. He has a rivalry with Uncle Stan, and then, like, he ends up, like, trying to destroy the Mystery Shack.
Like, Gideon is the epiphany of that meme of, you have beef with a child.
I don't know how to put Gideon, because, like, we didn't really put anybody in bad tier. He's definitely better than okay. I will say good. I don't know. Like, bad. I don't know if I could call him bad, because, like, he's a bad kid. Although, to be fair, like, when things start to get when karma started to get into him, that's when he started to get good, I would say. Remember, he went to jail. The dude went to jail.
Yeah, and I would say he got good in Weird Mageddon, because Dipper did talk some sense into Gideon, thankfully. And he turned out good in the end. And he did promise to turn good in the end, so he's turned over a new leaf.
Yeah, I'm about to say this. I think he might be a good character, but, like, if you're going to put him in good, I think he's actually better than Abuela also.
For me, personally, I would put him in great tier.
Great
tier.
Better than... He better not be better than Candy.
Better than Candy.
What? I can't... I'm shocked on this, actually.
Like, say what you will about Gideon.
I think he's just good. I don't know if he's definitely, like, great. I mean,
plus there's like that widow.
He's a villain, then turned out to be good at the end. I don't know.
No, but what I like is that he's an ironic kind of villain. Like, you never imagined that this widow, cute little kid would turn out to be such an evil villain. And they managed to make him funny.
I don't know about it. I mean, like, here's the thing.
We
only know Gideon from season 1. Season 2, he's pretty much non-existent until the end. So.
But then in the election episode, he had a pretty significant part. He played a significant part in the election episode.
A small significant part to have his dad win the mayorship. I don't know. Oh man, I don't know if I'll put him good. I think good would be better. I don't know. You would say great, but I'd say great, but not great. Better than Candy in my case.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna be fair here. We're gonna say great but below Candy. How's that?
Fine. Don't do that. God damn it. Fine, we'll put Gideon right there. There we go. Put little Gideon right there. All right. Oh, this is another one. How about Giffany? Where are the weebs at?
Now, Gideon may be a great villain, but Giffany is god tier villain. Yes.
What do you ready to go for god tier? Because the thing is, like, okay, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe she is god tier. Because, like, the thing is, like, she manipulates Zeus into, dating, literally, like, forgetting all girlfriends that's around him and actually just dating a freaking virtual idol.
Yeah, and what I like about Giffany is that she is the perfect parody, the perfect archetype for anime dating games that weebs get into.
I mean, Doki Doki Literature Club, because
Like-
I think that they're parodying Doki Doki Literature Club, I'm pretty sure.
She's a perfect Doki Doki Literature Club parody. That's why I love her.
She kind of is, because, like, yeah, she's tsundere. She's stealing boyfriends and stuff. Like,
And she could become deadly. Like, she can actually come out of her gaming verse and actually interrogate real life.
Oh, God. I mean, God tier, probably. I will say probably. Man, you were straight to God tier in this one, huh?
Straight to God tier, because Giffany is kawaii yet deadly.
I say, no. I say great, better than Candy in my case.
Great, better than Candy?
Yeah, I think great, better than Candy.
Really?
Because, like, God tier are definitely the best characters, I would say. And I don't think Giffany should be in the best character category yet. Because, like, you already put Dipper, you already put Bill, which makes sense, because Dipper and Bill are, like, main characters of the show. But, like, Giffany was only, a one write-off villain, to say. So, she only had that one episode, and that was great. And I said she is a great character, so I would say probably in the great category.
Based on the fact of how she was only one episode, I would say, fine, put her in great.
Right, put her in great?
I would have put her in God, but sure, great is fine.
Put her in great, right above Candy. Oh, yeah, sorry, Candy. I wish we could go further than that, but no.
Go, man, I.
Oh yeah, great. She'll kill you in your sleep now.
She'll kill us.
I don't know why the goat's there. Do we really want to talk about the goat? She just randomly goes bah throughout the whole show.
One thing I gotta say about the goat is that he is the goat.
We put him in bad tier in this case. I don't know.
I'll put him in okay tier. Like,
where at the end? I think at the end, because he's just a random goat.
But hey, you gotta admit, goat and a pig are definitely one hell of a shit.
Oh god damn it!
Goat and a pig.
Bottles better be in here. I swear to God.
Like Waddle's a goat. Definitely
fine.
Yeah.
We'll put. We don't have anybody in bad tier yet. We really don't have any bad characters, do we?
Not so far, but there's bound to be some.
There's supposed to be some. I'm just waiting for that one bad character, but I have a feeling we're all going straight to. We're all just going straight to go all good. I say. I guess we're going that way. How about Grenda?
Grenda, while not as great as Candy, Grenda manages to have funny moments of her own, of course, just like Mabel and Candy. Grenda's into boys, she's into makeup, all that stuff. But there's something about the manly voice that makes her unique in a sense of strong girl characters. I kind of like what they do with her because it goes back to what I was saying about Gravity Falls pulling off character archetypes very well.
For Grenda, in my case, because we're technically facing off with Candy and Grenda now, because I know Candy's a much better character than Grenda, honestly. In my case,
yeah, me too.
Would we put her in in the great tier? I say so. I think she probably is in the great tier character. She's tough as her own. Yeah, she has that deep voice and everything, but something about Grenda is awesome about her. I mean, freaking a prince likes her.
She somehow manages to win the heart of a rich boy.
Okay, so I will put great in my case. I think maybe probably in the end might be better, lower than Gideon in my case.
Lower than Gideon, yes.
Okay, so we're doing that. Grenda's lower than Gideon, guys. All right. Was that Nathan right there? Oh no, sorry. What's his name again?
I think it's Lee.
Oh, Lee. Okay, Lee.
I remember the other one was named Nate. Well, not
Nathan,
you, but
Nathan. Yeah. So Lee, one of Wendy's best friends.
Now Lee is the stereotypical teenager who is mainly there like as a background, as one of Wendy's friends. The thing is that there's not much to him other than being a stereotypical teenager. So I would say okay.
It really wasn't much when it comes to Lee. Like, he just was hanging out with Nathan, and both of them are just like bros.
Yeah.
It's a typical freaking surfer bro or something, right?
Yeah, just a typical surfer bro.
Yeah. Oh god.
Not bad, but not great either.
Yeah, there really wasn't much about it. I would say, is he okay? Maybe good. I think okay. Honestly, I think he's just okay. Yeah, I think he's just an okay character. This is where I'll put him probably maybe below Blendon, honestly. There wasn't really much big things about Lee that I like about him.
I'll do you one better, below the goat.
Wait, he's that bad?
Below the goat.
You think he's that bad? Really?
I'm not saying he's bad, otherwise he's on the bad tier, but...
You thinking he's worse than Bud and Wendy's dad?
At least Bud, there was more character to even Bud Gleeful than there was to Lee.
Oh... I don't know about this, man. I think Lee has a little bit of emphasis here. I think he's better than that. Let's at least put him above Bud in my case.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's above Bud. Or you want to put it below the goat. I'm saying that's crazy. The goat did nothing. He just bleats. That's it.
So I'm gonna say, but that goat is adorable. That goat is cute.
But that doesn't make any sense. It's just cute. Okay.
But with Lee, there's not much I can say except he's a typical teenager.
Fine, we'll put him below Blood. Is that what we're going for?
We'll put him right between Bud and Goat. That seems fair.
Fine, we'll put Lee right below Bud Gleeful for sure. And then now let's talk about who are those guys? The cyber police or something?
The cyber police. They're basically the time watchers, the time stoppers.
Okay, so these what's up with these time stoppers? Yes, they help conduct. They help arrest Blendin Blandin, and they also help Blendin Blandin get Dipper and Mabel to go to the future and not play these games to say.
Yeah, so what they are is that they are strict police officers, but they have a humorous side to them every now and then. But still, though, they're tough, they're serious, they're strict, and they do their best to make sure that Blended Planet is put into custody.
There wasn't really much about them. All their things that they've done was they arrested Blendin. They literally smashed a target to get Stan to go down a water game. Arrested pretty much brought Dipper and Mabel to the time area for a game or something. They're easy to manipulate, by the way.
They also are, like, if you look at Blendin's game, you could see that they're not exactly the brightest bulbs.
It's my great grandma or something. God damn it, people.
So they may be tough, but they're not the brightest bulbs in the Christmas tree. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, they aren't that great. So I would say good in my case. I think he's probably in the same level as Blended.
Yeah, isn't it ironic how you put them in the same level as their captor?
Yeah, I mean that whole time period was fine. I think
their prisoner.
Honestly, Blendin was the better character. It's just that when you have them in the tier list, I'm like, what are they gonna do? They're just probably gonna be there in the bottom somewhere.
So they could join their prisoner along in the okay tier.
Okay, so I think they're probably in between. What was it? The guy in the the Mabel's boyfriend guy. I forgot his name, and then Wendy's dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that over there. Is that right? We're gonna put it right over here.
Right in between Blended Planet and Mabel's ex-boyfriend.
Wait, you're thinking there? I was actually thinking Mabel's ex-boyfriend was actually better. So I was thinking over there.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's better because, come on, he had more character than whatever these freaking guys were, okay?
Okay, that is true.
I thought they were kind of like, a little annoying there. All right. Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Girl, Mabel Pines.
Yes.
Mabel Pines.
Yes.
All right, well.
Let's go.
All right. Well,
you know where to put her. You know where to put her.
We're going straight up there. That's for sure. Now our question is what? Our question is which is the better twin, Dipper or Mabel?
Nate, you automatically fail because
I think Dipper's a much better character. I'm sorry, he's the main protagonist. He's the one who's like leading through stuff. I'm sorry, Mabel was the one who unleashed Weirdmageddon. She trusted Grunkle Stan, and that almost caused chaos in the world.
Mabel Pines is the heart, the soul, the smiles, the all-around joy of Gravity Falls.
I think Dipper absolutely is the better character in my case, because, like, come on, he's the one who's like leading through everything, going through like Bill and all this jazz. I think Dipper is a much better character.
Mabel Pines is the better twin because of how she's much more joyful. She's much more.
I get it. She's an adorable character, but Dipper's a great protagonist. Okay, like he's a great leader himself and stuff. Yes, there's some things that look. He's a 12-year-old kid. He might be a little bit cringe. And to be fair, 12-year-old kids like they go through cringe phases and all this jazz.
Dipper's crush on Wendy. I like Dipper.
And I'm sorry, but Mabel has a weird thing about relationships. Like she been dating so many guys and it all ends up becoming failures.
But at least she's not delusional like Dipper is, thinking that because there's always this running gag of Dipper has a crush on Wendy, therefore he has to do these to impress her. It's like Mabel at least has a range of boyfriends she goes through, and it helps with her character development, her learning experience of dealing with love life.
No, but like I just love how Dipper just continues to become like a great like protagonist. Like he follows up with his great uncle Ford.
And Mabel follows up with her great uncle Stanley's Pines, so there's that chemistry.
What does she though?
Like, they have that great chemistry with Maple and Stanley, especially in Not What He Seems.
Yeah. Okay. I trust you in that little scene there. Yes.
And do you trust me to put Mabel on the very top on number one?
I don't know if I want to. That's my thing.
And plus, her sweaters make her somewhat very expressionable.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, she's expressionable about that too. Yes. Mabel has a bunch of like crazy shorts too. I remember the Mabel's Guide to blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that Dipper can be a stick in the mud, whereas like in between the Pine Twins, you gotta have some brightness, some fun. Therefore, Maple is the best character.
I think we have to debate this with the audience tonight. Yeah. Who's the better character? Who's the better Pine Twin? Is it Dipper or Mabel?
You know who to vote for. Vote for this girl right here.
We're gonna probably put it in our YouTube posts as well. Who's the better Pines Twin, Dipper or Mabel? But I say Dipper.
And I say Mabel.
And they say Mabel. But we have to decide in our little thing tonight. I don't know. Okay, fine. For now, I would say Mabel's better. For now, we'll put Mabel in the top. Fine.
Let's go.
Put Mabel on the top.
Let's go.
Sure, we'll do that. We'll put Mabel on the top, but I still say Dipper's a much better character in my case.
I say Mabel's a much better character in my case, so there's our little debate here.
Yeah, that's why I love it. I love this kind of heated debate.
Yes.
Oh, God, if we could pick either one of those two, this is so hard.
And plus, she has many great memorable moments, like grappling hook.
Okay, yes, she's precious by doing all of that, too, yes.
And also, onwards, Ayoshima!
Oh, yeah. Well, she was high on freaking candy. She was high on freaking, like, expired candy, I swear to God. That was the best moment, by the way, for Mabel.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Like, every moment with her is gold. Every moment with Mabel Pines is pure gold.
Oh, my God. No, I just remember Inconveniencing was, like, my favorite episode of Gravity Falls, just because Mabel just continued to get high on the freaking candy that she ate.
It was so adorable. I love it.
Yes. Fine. There are moments that Mabel has done. Again, I think the one worrying factor about Mabel is that every boyfriend that she went through always breaks up with her. So
it's part of her learning experience.
I know,
though.
But then like Dipper on the other hand, there are some times where like Dipper kind of is selfish. There was that one moment in Halloween.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're gonna blame Maple, if you're gonna say, but Mabel caused Weimer again, Dipper had his selfish moments too. Don't forget. Just saying.
Okay, fine. We'll put Mabel on top for now, but like Dipper, I still say very close second. Dipper's a very close second for sure.
One thing we will agree upon though. Both Pines Twins are the best.
Yes, both Pines Twins are the best for sure.
Yes.
All right, next up, Melody from Zeus's girlfriend.
Melody, she is a relatively likable character and definitely a fitting girlfriend for Zeus. But the thing is, come on, she ain't no Giffany.
But I'd rather pick Melody than Zeus. Oh, sorry, Melody than Giffany.
Really?
Because Giffany won't kill me.
But Giffany's so kawaii, Desu. She's precious.
Isn't she like underage too? You nasty little Ew.
But then again, isn't Zeus an adult?
I don't know about why Zeus was going on against.
And no one scratched their heads.
I don't. It's a simulation. It's like us playing Donkey Kong Leisure Club, okay? Yeah, but I'm not freaking obsessed with one girl on a freaking video game screen, okay?
And and I think that's the ultimate brilliance of that episode. It's that it tackles upon an unhealthy addiction to games and dating anime games.
Yeah, but I think Melanie is a much better character, to be fair. I think she belongs. It sucks because I would love to see more development of Melanie. It's just that the only thing that we saw from her is that she is into video games. She likes how Zeus likes to play with a train, I guess.
And plus, she works as Zeus's helper when Zeus takes over the Mystery Shack at the end of the series.
That is true. I'm just saying they are. I think they're together. They're going to be probably a great relationship together, if anything. I say probably. I think she's in the great tier as well.
I think that, Melody is a likable character when you look at her as a person on the surface, but when you look into how much she contributed to the show, there could have been much more of her. So I say okay tier.
Wait, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, no. What? That's really small for her. No. Oh, I say good. Well, if I put her in great, you put her in okay. We're going to put her in good tier now.
Really?
Because you said okay. That's literally like in the D range.
No, like okay is still, but okay is still okay. Like, I'm not saying bad or anything.
Yeah, but I think she's better than the rest of the characters in the okay tier, honestly.
Even more so than Blended Blandin or anything?
Yes, I think better than Blended Blandin. I think probably, like, better than Blubs, honestly.
Better than Blubs, you go that far.
I think better than Blubs, yes. That's my spot. If you're going to put her in okay, I'm putting her in the right in between Blubs and Abuela.
I mean, I would personally put her in between the police. I would personally put her below the police officers.
No, she deserves higher than that, honestly.
Yeah?
The police officers are just secondary characters that are just on the side doing some silly stuff. At least Melanie has an impact for a main character in the show.
That is true.
So that's why I love to have her like higher. That's why I put her in great. Like she at least be probably below Grenda in my case.
It would be hypocritical of me to disagree because I did say that Zeus's abuela deserved to be higher because of the significant impact that she had on Zeus.
But Melanie has a much better significant impact on Zeus. She's freaking her girlfriend.
I'm not gonna say she had a much better impact on him than his abuela because his abuela was there for him throughout his life, whereas Melody just came in when he was an adult, like still looking for dates. So.
Yeah, but again, I must say, I think if you're gonna put in good terms, I think better, definitely better than Blubs for sure.
Better than Blubs, we can agree on that.
Yeah, we'll agree with that. Okay, so he agrees on that too. So yes, we'll put Melanie right there in between Blubs and Abuela. Put that over there. God damn. Okay, there we go. Oh God, Mermando.
Mermando.
Oh no.
Merman. I'm a merman.
Oh God. Okay. What about Mermando?
What about Mermando is that he is definitely much better than the sock puppet boy for sure, because of how much character they gave Mermando in that pool episode. There's just so much.
Okay, we get it. We get it. He's a fish. He literally is a fish. He can only be in the pool. Something happened where he went upstream, got eaten by a bear or something. Then he got dragged into a pool. I remember the story about that, and just it was so odd about that episode.
And plus, there's the fact that he legitimately kissed Mabel. So
there you go.
He legitimately kissed Maple, and
so there's a small like glimmer of romance there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the closest thing that we have seen to Maple's romantic life succeeding, and even that, unfortunately, falls flat on his face in season 2. Unfortunately.
Again, for Mermando, I must say, it is true. I think he is better than the sock puppet guy because the sock puppet guy was just so random out of nowhere for Mabel to like.
Yeah, whereas Mermando, there's just so much to him that makes you think he is a great character.
Okay, so maybe fine.
Great tier.
Fine, we'll put him probably good tier. You say good tier?
I said great.
Great. Wait, he's that high?
He's that high, but I would say below Grenda. Below Grenda.
I say good tier above Abuela.
I say great tier above. No. I would say great tier below Glenda, but I definitely say if you want to put it before Abuela, I'm not gonna argue against it. But
we'll do that. All right, so he's okay with that.
Yeah.
We'll put Mermando in the good tier above Abuela. Cool. All right, there's Nathan. So what about him?
Same as his best friend Lee. Just put him like right beside him. Just like with Lee, of course Nate is the stereotypical teenager. Nathan.
Yeah. I guess if you're gonna put Lee and Nathan together, they're supposed to be together in that case. But who's a better bro? Was it Lee or Nathan?
They're both kind of equally the same character.
I guess probably we'll put him in the good tier in this case. I mean, I don't have any significant roles about Nate or Nathan. I just don't know what big impact happened for him. Instead of just being Wendy's, best friends and stuff.
Yeah, that's really much all I can say about him. It's like he doesn't really stand out as a main character. He's more like a background.
So we're gonna say Lee and Nathan right there.
Yeah.
We'll put Lee right here. Cool. Oh, here comes Old Man McGucket.
Old Man McGucket.
Okay. Okay, y'all might think he might be a crazy guy at first, but he does absolutely improve.
Yeah, because there's actually much more. From what we've learned from him in season 2, there's actually much more to Old Man McGucket than him being the crazy old man. There's a reason why he became crazy that adds a significant layer to his character. Mm-hmm. And that is the fact of how this whole mess with working with Stanford Pines and how, Stanford Pines wants to investigate into Bill's cipher and all that really messed with Old Man McGucket's mind. So you kind of feel bad for the poor guy. And so...
Well, yeah, because throughout the whole first season of Gravity Falls, he was a crazy guy. He goes, I see it again, and so much other stuff. And the other thing, too, is that he manned a freaking Loch Ness... Was it the Loch Ness Monster thing? Yes, in the second episode of Gravity Falls. He mans it. I'm like, who made that? How did you make that? Even though you're an Old Man McGucket, you can still man a freaking monster machine. Yeah, I had
I think
there was a sense that he was a smart guy.
Well, he was a smart guy, and I think that the reason why how he created the monster is because like he still has his wits to build a monster like this, like a build a machine like that. Even though he's a crazy old man, there's still that genius left within him.
Yeah. So I don't know about this. I think like for Old Man Bagaka, he is definitely up there because his character improved. Like he even got his memory back too.
Yeah.
And he even took the Northwest like mansion, which was kind of like wholesome in the end for sure.
He deserved that. He deserved that mansion.
He definitely. Okay, so I am kind of like teetering between God and Great right now between Old Man Bagaka.
God tier.
So you're thinking God? He's definitely below Bill Cipher in my case.
Below Bill Cipher, but I'm saying Old Man McGucket, based on the character development he's gone, God tier.
Okay, fine. We'll do that. We'll go put Old Man McGucket in the God tier. Well, no, wait. Let me think about it again. Because from bad to good, I think that's how I'm kind of thinking about it right now.
Even in his cookie phase, like in season 1, he was still funny to me.
Yeah, he's still a funny guy, but yes, he is kind of like cringe here and there. A lot of people don't like him and all that jazz, but he did get great. He did get smarter again. Plus, like Stanford Pines knows Old Man McGucket again, so both of them started to reunite from there.
Season 2 looks the way Season 2 really changes the way you look at this character.
Does he deserve God or Great? Because like I could definitely see that he's better than Giffany for sure.
He's definitely better than Giffany, but he's not better than Bill Cipher. But I do say God in my case. How about you?
I guess I guess we can probably go there. I think he's kind of deserving more of the Great tier. Mm-hmm. So, you know what?
We could put him in Great. We could put him in Great.
I'll probably put him in God because like the next person up is probably in the Great tier for sure.
He's A-, like S-, A+ for sure.
Fine, we'll put him in God for now. And I think you know what? I mean, it is kind of questionable, but he is a great character. He's like our question is does he belong in God tier? Does he belong in does he belong in the Great tier to say? So let me put that up there. All right. Oh, come on, get up there. There we go. Okay, next up, Pacifica Northwest.
Pacifica Northwest, I will say, she is definitely, I think she's definitely what started the whole trend of Disney TVA, bratty girls turning good. Pacifica Northwest what started it.
Well, to be fair, like she was still bratty. She was still bratty-ish. Even like in the second season, yes, there was that episode of the Northwest Mansion mystery thing where she ends up actually becoming good, like being in front of her parents and saying she are terrible parents and stuff. But then that's it. That's the only thing about Pacifica that started to become like good for her. And then yes, she did end up doing something good at Weird Mageddon, but it's not really that significant to me. She still is acting bratty, like kind of tsundere-ish than Mabel now.
Even in a rag, I'm better than you.
Yeah, see? Like that.
I'm thinking, okay, Pacifica deserved much better after Northwest Mystery Mansion. The thing with Pacifica Northwest is that she was getting great in season 2, especially Gulf War, and especially Northwest Mystery Mansion was peak Pacifica.
Although to be fair, like in the Gulf War, yes, it was again a showdown between Mabel and Pacifica.
It was peak Pacifica, Northwest Mystery Mansion. But
yeah, Northwest Mystery Mansion was her peak. Gulf War, no, because she still ended up continuing to be a jerk just because I remember like in the end of a Gulf War she still ended up like having a celebration at the end of the mansion. I'm like, no, she's still disabled.
But then when you look closely at the end, you could tell that she's not exactly happy with her rich style life, and she takes it out on Maple because she does see how happy Maple is with her family, how encouraging they are, as opposed to when Preston drops off Pacifica. He's like, don't lose your Northwest, putting so much pressure on her, and it makes you think that's what abuse does to a child.
I mean, like, she is like one of the very show-offy girls that are out there. I would say definitely a great character because like the way that her character development was. Remember, she was a brat throughout the whole first season. Like throughout the whole first season, Pacifica was everybody's annoyance. And then she ended up going so much better in the second season, especially after Northwest Mansion Mystery. So yeah. I say great, probably better than Giffany in my case.
Yeah, she could have been God tier.
She's not God tier. She's not God tier in my case.
No, I said she could have been.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like she's better. She's definitely the great tier. I think better than Giffany for sure.
Yeah. So had they continued her character arc after Northwest Mystery Mansion, she could have been God. But after they kind of dropped the ball with their character after Northwest Mystery Mansion, great tier.
All right, so we're gonna put Pacifica Northwest in the great tier. So there you go. We have the pool guy. We have the pool lifeguard guy.
Yeah, we have the lifeguard guy who is somehow Benson on steroids. Like he's a strict boss character.
I'm not really a big fan of him. He's just like, really in front of like Dipper throughout most of the episode. I think he's in the bad tier in my case.
Yeah, there's even like he's pretty much he's the typical strict lifeguard.
Yeah.
But the way they pull him off is just, I see what they're doing with this character, but he only appeared in one episode, and that's all there is to this character. It's just him being the strict lifeguard.
Yeah, he's not really much about him because like I can't even put him in a good tier, I can't even put him in okay tier. I think he's just bad, honestly. Yeah? He's just a strict lifeguard who like is careful for his pool, and that's why he like have some strict limits about it. I think he's kind of like in the bad tier in my case.
Yeah, I would say there should be more to his character, so I'd say bad tier.
Okay, so we're all putting bad tier in this one. Awesome.
He's not the only one, however.
Oh God! Wait, are you really putting the Northwest parents too?
Yes, Northwest parents are bottom tier.
Well, okay, first off, Preston Northwest. He is Nathan Fillion. Great actor, by the way.
I don't care if he was voiced by Mal Reynolds from Firefly. He's not a good character.
He is a terrible parent. That is true. Because he literally is just putting Pacifica, say, hey, Pacifica. The freaking bell that he also rings to. And also the other thing, too, is that he was the one who was supposed to, like, do this party thing. And then he continued the tradition from the Northwest and everything.
He goes so far as to resort to cannibalism before having, the day saved. There's this one instance where he's like, okay, we'll have enough food to last you, me, and the butler.
Okay, true. He's kind of
we'll eat the butler.
There we go.
Cannibalism. He's a cannibal.
There wasn't really much bright spots when it comes to Preston. He's kind of like a terrible dad, especially when I saw that in Northwest Mansion Mystery House, whatever that episode was.
It made me feel for that poor girl, Pacifica.
Pacifica definitely went through some hardships, and thankfully Pacifica actually stood up for her parents, so that she can at least get the curse lifted away from the mansion. Have everybody come into the mansion, have a party, Mm-hmm. So yes, I would say definitely a terrible person. He's definitely in the bad tier for sure.
Bad tier.
And same with Priscilla. Priscilla Northwest.
She could join her.
God.
She could join her equally corrupt husband into the bad tier.
We're just putting all of them in the bad tier. Huh? Okay, fine. All the Northwest's in the bad tier, except for Pacifica. Pacifica's precious.
Like Amity Blythe, you think you have it rough? At least you have one evil parent. Okay. Pacifica has two.
All right, big question for you: who's the better parent? Is it Preston or Priscilla?
They're both equally terrible.
Okay, where would you put them as better? I think Priscilla, I think, is a better person than her dad.
Yeah, but even so, Priscilla does allow Preston to continue the abusive behavior.
I guess we're just putting them in the same level here. Fine, we'll do that.
So Priscilla's actually complicit. She's complicit in the abuse.
Okay, fine, we'll do that then. Oh man, how about President Quentin Tremblay?
President Quentin Tremblay, the 8.5 president of the United States. Quentin Tremblay does stand out as being a really funny character in Irrational Treasure. And of course he has some funny lines here and there where, remember Pioneer Day where the woodpecker, the woodpeckers are basically destined to be wives of the man.
Yeah, I remember that. I just remember seeing a lot of people, they froze him in that like whatever taffy thing that he was in.
Yeah.
And then they broke him out. He was able to stay alive.
And so it makes him...
There's so much silly stuff about him, yes.
But the thing is, it's silly, but it's genuinely funny because, like, what president would, come up with all these weird, wacky kind of policies? By the way, do not answer that. It's just, when you look at Quentin Tremblay, not only does he have the heart and soul and what's best for America, but there's actually... He has a goofy side to where it's actually quite... unique in a sense. Like it's actually quite wacky and fun. You can't help but love him.
I think, okay, yeah. I mean, if anything, Quentin Tremblay definitely is a very silly guy. I would say probably the okay case for in my stance when it comes to putting Quentin in the tier maker ourselves.
I say good because
I say good as well, but like where in the good tier? I would say probably
below Mermando.
Oh yeah, I think you're probably in that right case there. Okay, yeah, right, we'll do that.
There could have. I wanted more Quentin Tremblay appearances though. I really,
Thank you, audience member, for pointing out the Fresh Knight always puts Pacific and Mabel at top tier. Yeah, we know
Yes.
Fresh, man.
Shout out to our friend right here.
Oh man, yeah, I remember he's a huge fan of Pacifica Northwest for sure.
Shout out to our friend Fresh Knight.
All right, next, Robbie Valentine. Okay,
Robbie Valentino.
Valentino.
Yeah, what I can say about Robbie is that, of course, he's just the stereotypical teenage jerk. Like, he's the jerk boyfriend of Wendy in season 1. But then he was exposed by Dipper, which, by the way, I like the fact of how the episode even acknowledges that Dipper is in the wrong as well. He's selfish as well, so I like the episode for doing that. But going back to Robbie, I feel like there was potential for redemption for Robbie in season 2, but one issue I had was that the quote-unquote redemption was rushed. It was forced because basically you had Maple kind of like putting a love potion on Robbie and Tambry, and that's what made them fall in love. They don't fall in love naturally, but it's just out of hypnosis. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of distracts the fact that the character was a huge jerk to a kid in season 1. He wanted to beat the snot out of Dipper.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my god, I remember that. It just gives me a bad vibe about Robbie. Plus the fact that like Robbie definitely had the hearts for Wendy. That's why they were dating for like most of the first season. Yeah, Robbie kind of had some bad vibes, and I understand like he was depressed and all that kind of stuff, especially after Wendy broke up with him. Yeah. And then the whole Robbie and Tambry thing was so out of the blue.
It was out of the blue.
Although to be fair, they did end up becoming together, and apparently it was true love. I don't know.
No.
But they were together.
It's false love, but no, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel genuine.
Like
that's
Mabel
the
was
problem.
supposed to like end their relationship or something. She had like the antidote from the love god.
And I think that's what would have made the ending much better. Like have Maple actually spray Robbie with the anti-love, and then they come to learn in the end, all of them come to learn in the end that love comes from natural connection, building a bond, not because of a love god.
Yeah, I have some questions about Robbie. I do think that Robbie definitely deserves at least to be in the good tier in my case. Lowest case, I think good.
I'll say okay tier.
What? He's that bad?
There was a potential for him to be better, but
well, to be fair, like he is. Honestly, I think he's a good character. He's definitely a good character. Like, yeah, I mean, he was it Wendy's girlfriend? Was it Wendy's boyfriend? And then also at the same time, like he wants to beat up Dipper. There was a rivalry between Dipper and Robbie at the end, and it was just a small little rivalry because like nothing happened after that. So,
but even so, I feel like they missed the mark in terms of wanting to redeem Robbie, like how they genuinely redeemed Pacifica. Robbie could have went that route. There was potential for that.
I am going to put Robbie I definitely say good tier, probably over Marmondo in my case. Because, like, he definitely deserves his praises. I think he's still a great character. Yes, he's definitely one of those, like, like, goth kids, I guess. I don't know if you want to.
I would put him like below the cops. If you're gonna put him in that range, he deserves nothing more than being below the cops.
I don't think so. He definitely has better character, I must say. I think Robbie definitely deserves to be up there. So we're now in the middle between good here. So I would say probably better than Abuela in my case.
Not better than Abuela. You're kidding yourself if you think that he's better than the woman who has been a mother figure to Robbie all her life.
No, I do think Robbie has a better character arc. Come on, guys. Are we gonna do that? Are we just gonna put Robbie right there? Right there. Right in between Abuela and Quinn Tremblay.
That actually seems fair. Like in between.
Fine, we'll do that. We can't wait for the fans to talk about this. There's that guy. I forgot his name, by the way, but the
Rumble McSkirmish.
Rumble McSkirmish. Okay, there we go.
So basically, what Rumble McSkirmish is that he's basically a parody character of Ryu or Ken from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So basically, he's a typical fighting game character that Dipper brings back to life in order to scare off Robbie. But then things go a little too far when Rumble McSkirmish.
He was about to kill Robbie, dude.
Yeah,
but I do love the whole video game references that happen. I remember like him throwing down barrels and stuff.
A reference to Donkey Kong,
of course,
1984, which I appreciated. That episode gets a +1 for me from the reference.
Okay, so Rumble McSkirmish again. Okay, fine. What is it? Dipper summoned this character. This character was about to like beat Robbie up, and then Dipper was the one who actually had to face him off so that he could disappear or something.
And then he killed your father.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember that part too. Yeah.
Fireball, uppercut, downpercut, bowl of punch.
There's some great lines from him too.
The line delivery is what makes him stellar as well. The line delivery.
McSkirmish. I must say, I might probably be in the good category as well.
Definitely good tier. Definitely good tier.
Okay, so we agree with he's in the good tier. Where would he be in the good tier? Probably above
Armando.
Above Armando. He's that good.
Rumble McSkirmish is nothing more than memorable. Especially if you're a fan of video games and fighting games especially, you will love Rumble McSkirmish.
All right, we're going to put him there then in that case. Sure, we'll do that. All right, how about Sandra Jimenez? Sandra Jimenez, the reporter girl. Sandra
Jimenez isn't as much of a memorable character as Toby Determined.
To be fair, yeah, Toby Determined is a much notable character in our books. Well, Chandra Jimenez is like the reporter for Gravity Falls. He also does her own broadcasts. She literally is a reporter down there. Yes, she is the love interest of Toby Determined.
Yeah, but, he even has that cardboard standee
that's
of
so
Sandra.
Weird. That is so fucking
cringe.
creepy. Jesus Christ. But Sandra, there's nothing much important about her, so I must say okay in my case.
Okay, yeah.
So where would you put her in okay in this case?
Below the goat.
He's that bad?
The goat is adorable. There's no way you can put the goat in the almost bottom of the okay tier.
Okay.
Come on.
Chandra Jimenez. No. I think above those guards. Above those cyber guards.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think she's above those cyber guards in my case.
I wouldn't go that far, but, because the cyber guards do have their personality.
Yeah, but, Chandra at least, just appeared for 1 second and then, reported about Gravity Falls. That's all. Okay, maybe lower than that. Maybe below Blood Gleeful in my case.
I would say
below Blood Gleeful because
Nathan
and Lee both aren't really not much character. So I say yeah. Chandra Jimenez is probably down there. Cool. Oh, next up, the boy Seuss.
I am Seuss.
Oh my god! Why would you do that?
Dude, put me in God tier, dude.
Yeah, he's gotta be in God tier for sure.
I am God.
Well, there was that. So yes, I put him in God tier. But here's the question: where are we gonna put him in God tier now?
Where I put Seuss is between Bill Cipher and Old Man McGucket.
Okay, yeah, I think you might be true. But here's the thing about Seuss. He's wholesome. He's such a great guy. He cares about the Pines twins. He's always there for every mission. He even stands up to Grunkle Stan and everything. Yeah, respectful, awesome guy. Maybe I was thinking better than the Pine twins, honestly.
Really? Better than the Pine twins? Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go that far either. But do you think he's better than Bill Cipher too? I feel like he might be.
Not even better than Bill Cipher.
I think better than Bill Cipher. I think better than Bill Cipher.
Bill Cipher is Alex Hirsch's best character, Gravity Falls.
Okay, but I love Seuss though. What's my thing? I think I might have to put him. I think I might put Seuss over Bill Cipher, honestly.
Seuss is more lovable than Bill Cipher, but I would say Bill Cipher is an all-powerful, demon triangle.
I know, but there are other characters that are better. I mean, we put the Pines twins better than what was it? Bill Cipher.
But yeah, Seuss is such a big, lovable oaf. You can't help but love him.
I think he's better than Bill, honestly.
Better than Bill, okay. As long as he doesn't rank above the Pines twins, I'm all for it.
Okay, so we put Seuss above Bill Cipher, which makes sense. I think it absolutely makes sense because Seuss is definitely one of the best characters out there in Gravity Falls.
Absolutely, and Alex Hirsch nails him perfectly down to a T.
All right, let's go with Stanford Pines.
All right, J.K. Simmons is your character, so let's go. Stanford Pines. Now Stanford Pines made for a great twist character because after Not What He Seems is where Stanford Pines became a prominent character. And let me tell you, Stanford Pines really does deliver in his role. I would say God tier because he's also a great father figure to Dipper.
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
He became Dipper's hero.
He definitely is God tier, especially with the fact that he knows the things on how to defeat Bill Cipher.
Yes.
He went into the weird verse with Bill Cipher. And I know that I know his history too. You've seen that episode now, the episode after or Not What He Seems. So yeah, it was such a great episode, honestly, just to see the history of what Grunkle Stan and Grunkle Ford Uncle Ford is going for. So. Yeah, he's definitely God tier, but now my question is, where does he go in God tier?
So where I put him in God tier is in between Seuss and Bill Cipher.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think he's
Yeah.
probably up there too. So so Stanford Pines is right there.
Yep.
All right.
Him and his 6 fingers.
His 6 fingers, yeah. All right. Now we have Gruckle Stan.
Grunkle Stan, we got the other Pines twin right here, the old man Pines twin, which is Stan Lee, not Stanford, Stanley.
Yeah.
And the thing with Stanley Pines is that he's such a, I'll put it, sleazy con man with a heart of gold. Like, you know for a fact that he's a terrible person, yet they play so much with the character, but he also ends up caring for Dipper and Maple as people, and even is the father figure to Seuss that Seuss's own father was, could never be.
Well, the fact is, like, Seuss was hired because of Stan too. Like, he just comes out of nowhere randomly into the mystery shack, and then Grunkle Stan just hires him right there. Yeah. Also, he's been a great, like, again, his history is obviously a little dirty with the fact that he, like, sabotaged his brother's science fair. What was it? He went through so much in his life, like went through so many states, sold some scam stuff here and there. And then he started making a life in Gravity Falls, and like, you're thinking like, okay, well, this is how Grunkle Stan's history was and everything. And I think the other thing, well, the one thing about it is like, he's a really tough guy. He beat Bill Cipher.
He punched him in the face like, psh.
Yeah. He beat Bill Cipher.
And he beat up zombies.
Yes, and he could be a little bit silly to his nieces, but he is also wholesome to his nieces as well, making sure that they're protected and everything because of him.
It's great.
He definitely is a great father. He definitely is a great father figure, and I would say definitely in the God tier for sure. He definitely is in God tier, but like where in God tier now is our debate.
Where in God tier? I'm gonna say in between Dipper and Seuss.
In between Dipper and Seuss. Ooh. So Seuss is worse than Grunkle Stan, you think?
I think that Grunkle Stan is a more fleshed out character than Seuss.
Yeah, because I know Ford is kind of in the bottom of the God tier in my case, but Grunkle Stan I think should be below Zeus in my case.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Just because like Seuss is definitely I like Zeus. Honestly, I like Seuss better than Grunkle Stan. Because, like, again, his wholesomeness and everything. Grunkle Stan definitely is, like, one of the better leaders and stuff like that.
So which...
I don't know.
Are we starting another debate? Which Alex Hirsch voice character is better?
Yeah. Do we say Zeus or Grunkle Stan is the better character?
They're both lovable characters for their own different reasons. But I don't mind putting Zeus over Grunkle Stan, though.
Yeah, okay, fine. Then we can do that. We'll do Grunkle Stan. Zeus is definitely third. Then Grunkle Stan fourth. We'll do that. Yeah. Cool. Oh, we did that already. There's the little tier maker thing right here being switched over. There's Susan.
Lazy Susan.
Wink.
So Lazy Susan serves as the the waitress that works at the diner cafe, and also Grunkle Stan's love interest
at the time.
But then something weird happened with them. It was like they weren't really a thing anymore.
They weren't really a thing because I remember that one phone call that Grunkle Stan went through. Like, I guess he didn't like Sue after that.
And also there's this time where, according to Dreamscapers, Grunkle Stan actually bailed out on their date.
Oh, interesting.
Non-specific excuse. Like, he didn't even give out an excuse. He just like ran out and bailed.
So, but yeah, I mean, for Lazy Susan, again, there were some notable moments about her, but there wasn't really, like, good notable. I mean, again...
She's a nice diner lady.
She's a nice diner lady, yeah, that's great, but then I don't see much about her. I know there was that one episode where, like, she was abducted by the cult.
Yeah, the cult.
Yeah, because, like, she saw a gnome, and then, like, she freaked out, then somebody captured her. Yeah. And then she got, like, zapped by some freaking mine thing. And then something about the I forgot the name of the group, by the way, but yeah, that's all I know.
Society of the Blind Eye.
Yeah, Society of the Blind Eye. Again, I don't know much about that. After that, nothing much about her after that. Then Susan was just a regular old diner girl. There wasn't really much story about her, unfortunately. So, in my case, I say okay. She's probably in the okay range.
I'll say okay, but somewhere higher in the okay range.
Like, okay, where would you put her in the okay range then?
In between Blended Blandon and the Sock Puppet guy.
Blandon. Maybe below the Sock Puppet guy.
Maybe? All right, that makes sense.
I say below the Sock Puppet guy, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, because Susan at least had some story there, so... And then we're really putting that sock puppet boyfriend really high in the in the okay tier list here.
Yeah, and he only appeared in one episode. That's strange.
Right. How about Tambry?
Status update.
Yeah, she's just on her phone for most of the time, but she did end up becoming Robbie's girlfriend.
Status update. Putting Tambry in okay tier.
Oh, no. Really? She's that low?
There's not much to Tambry except
because she's a texter. Okay.
Plus, she was in love with Robbie, but under wrong circumstances.
Yeah, with the love potion, yes.
With the love potion. See, there could have been a way, just like with Robbie, Tambry was wasted potential in that they wasted any kind of potential for her to work in season 2, and she ends up being this background girl who serves as Wendy's friend.
Yeah. So about Tambry, I just remember her being the texter and stuff like that, and being Robbie's girlfriend. I'm trying to figure out if she can actually get up into great, but I'm not really having a lot of thoughts about it at the moment. I don't know if she deserves great at the moment because she is pretty much one of Wendy's best friends. Was Robbie's girlfriend, is Robbie's girlfriend now. Did she do anything after that? None. I don't think she did anything after that. So.
Exactly.
Well, okay, here's the thing. She's better than Nathan and Lee, that's for sure.
She's better than Nathan Lee, but that's really by default. It's by default, though.
Okay, then, if we're gonna put her in okay, would she be probably better than Wendy's dad in this case?
I would say better than the sock puppet guy.
Oh, okay. I can take that actually. I think Tambry
better than the sock puppet guy.
I think Tambry deserves it. So, yeah. Okay, we'll put her over there then. Cool. All right, we'll do that there. How about Thompson?
Much better than Wendy's previous friends because of the fact of how there's at least some character to Thompson. He's sort of.
I think Thompson is just a punching bag because everybody always teases on Thompson and he's supposed to be the bridge of the group or something, right?
Thompson is the butt monkey, the punching bag of the cartoon, but at least there's more character to him than the previous 3 combined.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of do like Thompson's role. He has the whole entire friend group and he's a bridge pretty much. Because I remember there was that. Remember in the Love God episode, they broke up or something because Tambry was dating Robbie, and then everybody's just all angry about that.
But then Thompson, in a strange way of shenanigans, manages to get the group together by being his silly self.
Just him being silly, and then everybody all became together all of a sudden. I thought that was kind of cool for Thompson to do. Though to be fair, Thompson kind of feels like a dummy. I'm thinking he was an okay character, but maybe below great in my case.
Yeah, I would say okay because
maybe below good. Sorry, below good in my case.
Because he's only the best of Wendy's friends by default.
Okay, so if we're gonna put Thompson in the in the good category, where would we put him in this case? I think he's lower than Robbie. That's for sure.
In between Blended Blind and Socket Puppet Guy.
Oh, we put him in okay.
Put him in okay, yeah.
Is that okay? I thought okay. I thought he was better than that. I thought you were thinking that he's better than, those characters.
He's better than them, but he manages to be even though he has more character than the 3, it doesn't change the fact that for the most part he's just there as Wendy's friend.
Okay, so we're putting.
Oh, and also he's also a manager of a movie theater, according to what we've seen in the
that is true. He was a movie manager for sure. Fine. We'll put him there. Okay, that's interesting. We have a lot of okay characters. I was kind of surprised. Somebody actually has some more better characters here.
I think the main characters obviously rank higher because of the bigger impact they have on the show. Of course,
yeah. And even the secondary characters too. I mean, the supporting characters are all also in the higher tier as well. I'm surprised we put Tiffany on the great tier. Look at everybody else that's on top.
I want a god tier, bro.
On the top. What the? That makes no sense. Okay, I have to look back at this.
Yeah, Tiffany is definitely my favorite one-off character of the show. Okay. I want a god tier, bro.
Toby Determined. Yeah, Gravity Falls Gossiper.
Yeah.
So,
but your microphone's a turkey baster, Toby.
It certainly is.
Last question.
Okay, Toby Determined. Man, what an interesting character he is. He is supposed to be a reporter. Yes, he has a crush on Sandra Jimenez. What other things about him that kind of stands out?
Well, let me tell you, to quote Sheriff Blubs, he's a freak of nature.
He is definitely a freak of nature, but there wasn't really anything good about him either, right?
Yeah, Toby Determined, much like Thompson, Toby determines, overall purpose in the movie is to be the punching bag, the butt monkey.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have much to do. He's literally just a reporter. We have seen like episodes of him in the first season, and then like what happened to him after that? Like, did he do so much in the second season?
I mean, other than put on some makeup and punk rock clothing in the Weimer again, that's it.
Again, I don't know if I'm assuming we're probably putting him in okay in my case because like he's not important in my case. So
yeah,
I say
okay
he's
too.
okay too. Wow, we have so many characters in okay. I thought we have better characters in Gravity Falls.
See, the best characters of Gravity Falls are so peak, but the rest are in okay tier because of the fact of the little impact they had.
That tells me like they emphasize so much more depth on these other characters in the top 2 tiers than the rest of them in the below.
Yeah.
It's surprising. Unfortunately for Robbie, I thought he actually did better than good. I thought he was great. Okay, but don't be determined in okay. Where would you put him in an okay tier? Probably lower than Chandra.
Lower than
Chandra Jimenez.
I would say better than a bit lower than her colleague. Yeah, than his colleague.
So I definitely think he's better than Nathan and Lee. So yeah, definitely.
At least Toby had more character than Nate or Lee.
Okay, so we'll put Toby determined in the right over here then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was that guy's name again?
Tyler.
That's his name? Oh, Tyler? Oh, Tyler Cutbiker.
Get him!
Get him!
Oh, and also...
And the mayor of Gravity Falls.
Yes, Mayor Tyler. Also, Puma shirt, Panther shirt.
Oh, God!
Puma shirt, Panther shirt.
Okay, so there are some notable, significant moments about Tyler. Okay.
Yeah.
He went from being about that.
He went from being the Puma shirt, Panther shirt guy to a guy who literally runs Gravity Falls.
Okay, so in this case, like, okay, that's the only thing about Tyler, because, like, he does the get him, like, every freaking small moment in season 1. It's all get him. Even in the end of season 1, there's an episode where it's like, Tyler, what do we do? Get him. So, besides the get him guy, there are things that are better for Tyler. He became the mayor of Gravity Falls, and he also has more speaking lines because of that. So...
Yeah. So I would say that Tyler is a better character than he may seem.
So it's surprising because I'm actually gonna put him in the great tier in honesty.
I'm not gonna go so far as say great tier. I'm gonna say good tier.
Oh, sorry, good. Yeah, sorry, in good tier.
High good though. High good.
Okay. So you said high good. Oh wait, really that high? Interesting. Because like, look at the other characters. Look at the other characters in the good tier though. You have Quentin Tremblay, Robbie.
But then when you think about
maybe, because I've been thinking if you're gonna go high, maybe was he better than Robbie in my case?
When you look at how far Tyler has come, when you look at how much he has succeeded by the time Gravity Falls has come to an end, you'll come to really respect and adore Tyler.
Oh man, this is just tough. Honestly, I don't know if I really should put Tyler like. Where would you put him in? Where would you put him on like in the scale? If you're gonna put him in good, where are you gonna put him in the good tier?
In between Quentin Tremblay and Robbie.
Okay, yeah, I think I'll agree with that too. I'll put Tyler over there. Yeah, sure.
Tyler deserves the love, man.
So
Tyler deserves the love.
He goes over here. Where do you put Quentin Tremblay, by the way? Oh, we put him over here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, our tier maker is clearing up because the other tier maker that we have here in our computer is getting a little bit slow. Oh, how about Waddles?
Oink, oink, oink.
Oh, God.
Yes, our favorite pig character right here, Waddles, is so adorable. He's so... His arms are so small.
I find this interesting because we got to put him God or great because he is a pig. He is Mabel's pet. He is wholesome and, a cute little pig.
His face is so flat. His face is so fat.
His face is so fat. Do I put him in great? I think he's kind of a great character, honestly. Like, not God in my case.
Great.
Okay, so you're also saying great as well.
I'm also saying great.
Because, yes, Waddles is cute and, a great pet. But, what did he do? What else did he do? He's just a pet, right?
There's this one episode where it was basically that. Remember that one spooky episode where it was multiple Gravity Falls stories put into one?
Yeah.
Remember when Waddles could talk?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
What about that episode again?
That episode where Waddles becomes smart.
Yeah, I know that, but oh my gosh.
Something tells me, like, between his character design, between his cute little oinks and all this stuff, it's just like, Waddles is a kind of companion you just love to have.
Okay, so I definitely put him in great, but I think he's definitely in the top grade. Better than Pacifica in my case.
Yeah, on the top grade.
Yeah, and even Pacifica tried to get him as a pet.
Yeah, thankfully
that didn't
that
go on well, thankfully. Oh my god. So Waddles is right there in great tier. All right, awesome. Oh my god, yes, Wendy. Yeah, so great, God tier already. Just go God tier already, I'm just saying.
God tier.
Okay, now our question is, where would Wendy be in the God tier?
Wendy would be in between Bill Cipher and Old Man McGucket.
Wait, what?
In between Bill Cipher and Old Man McGucket.
Oh, maybe better than that, honestly.
You don't want to put her between...
I want her better than that, honestly.
Better than Bill Cipher? I don't think so.
I don't... Oh, God, yeah, I think she's better than Bill Cipher. Because, like, look, her character improved so much. Like, you're thinking she's just a lazy, like, co-worker in what was it, in Mystery Shack. Then she ended up getting better and better. Like, you know, every episode that we keep seeing on Wendy gets so much better. Like, in the second season, there was more impact on Wendy.
Especially Into the Bunker, where she was a badass.
Yeah, she was a badass Into the Bunker. She had an attitude with the ponies in that one episode.
Yes.
Where she got scammed. Yeah, I'm saying Wendy's a much better character. I think, like, in the realm of, like, definitely higher, the top 5 in my case. Well, to be fair, I kind of like Wendy, too. So...
Oh, I
have a little bias, honestly. I like Wendy, so that's the problem.
And speaking of the unicorns, if the unicorns were a character there, I would put them in bad tier, because how dare you
they scammed Mabel.
Not only that, but how dare you make my girl Mabel cry? How dare you?
Yep, there's also that too.
Automatic F tier.
Thankfully, Wendy beat him up or something like that. I remember.
All the girls beat the ponies up. It was beautiful.
They really should do that. Yeah, Wendy Kotarai, I must say, definitely God tier. Again, I think she might be... Again, my bias is coming over me. I think she might be better than Stanford Pines.
Better than Stanford Pines?
I think better than Stanford Pines.
So you would put her in between the Pines twins, the Pines brothers.
That's what I was thinking.
Really?
Where would you put Wendy? You said in between Bill and Old Man McGucket?
Yeah, I say it's a... But you know what? Let's do a compromise. Let's have her be between Ford and Bill.
I think he's better than Bill. I think she's better than Bill.
We'll do a compromise. We'll say in between Ford and Bill. How's that?
Yeah, but we could do that. Sure.
Plus, you cannot separate the Pines twins brothers.
Fine, be that way. But yeah, Wendy definitely deserves to be up there. And then last but not least, it's those two characters that
those two dreamy boys.
That's two dreamy boys that Mabel's into, Zyler and Kratz. Okay, they don't have much significance. They do appear again in Weirdmageddon though. So.
Whoa! Don't be hating. That's not rad.
This could be a bad character. This could be a bad character.
Whoa! Don't be dissing, dude.
What do you think it should be?
Okay, yeah, bad.
Okay, so. Bad in what? Like maybe the high bad tier?
The 90s slang did great on me a little bit.
Also, like them being in that first episode we see Bill Cipher. What was it? The Mind episode with Uncle Stan.
They messed things up.
Yeah, they didn't. They're not really much of big significance. I know they appeared again in Weirdmageddon, but again, I don't think there's really much big importance when it comes to those guys. So. Bad tier, probably high bad tier, probably better than the other bad tier characters that are down there.
Yeah, better than the lifeguard, and definitely a whole lot better than Pacifica's parents. Just screw them.
All right, well, that is our Gravity Falls character tier list here.
Yes.
So okay, so that's pretty much everybody. I don't know what everybody's thinking, but how do you think overall when it comes to the characters we have here?
Meeple is God!
No, I think it's Dipper still. I still think it's Dipper. That's a better character.
But I would say that, for the most part, I would say that this tier maker list is very fair, I would say. I mean, there may be some arguments in the chat, in the comments.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some people in the comments will probably say some other things.
Like, there's a certain friend of ours that will definitely get on us for not putting her in God tier.
Oh, yeah, probably fresh. But here's my other thing too. Look at all the characters that we have in good, okay, and bad. We didn't really have emphasis on those characters, do we? Like, I get it. Gravity Falls is amazing. It's a 10 out of 10 cartoon, but the focus was definitely on the Pines, the other side characters. And then if you look back at the good, okay, and bad tier, like, there really wasn't much about them. They're just like random people that we somewhat cared about.
And I think that's I think that's all they needed to be at the end of the day. They needed to be, fun background characters that embrace their archetypes. And I think that's what Gravity Falls is trying to go for in order to help develop the Gravity Falls main characters. Now, Gravity Falls is my favorite animated show of all time, but I'm not going to say that it's a perfect show. There was a few missed opportunities with some characters, Robbie. But for the most part, I would say that they really nailed the characters down to a T from the main characters by giving them, so much dedication and development to the supporting characters, which just making them funny or endearing some way.
It's surprising how we end up getting Seuss and Wendy in the top, the God tier, because they deserve God tier. They have been in Gravity Falls ever since episode 1, and they have improved. Like, Seuss has been a really amazing guy to the Pines twins, to Uncle Stan, to everybody in the Pines family. And then Wendy, out of all people, like, you could think that she might just be a lazy, like, teenager, but, like, she turns out to be a caring teenager in the end. Thankfully, like, the writers ended up actually making some great emphasis on who Wendy is.
Yeah, and it really just showed that there's more to these characters, not just Grunkle Stan from Not What He Seems, but there's more to these characters. Even they're not what they seem. Like, they actually feel like they're much more than what their characters appear to be in the first episode.
Right. Which characters do you think could have, we've said that we have a lot of good, okay, and bad tier characters. Who do you think out of all of those characters should have had more emphasis to at least get into the higher great tier and God tier areas?
I feel like characters who had the opportunity, who had the potential to be higher ranked, but kind of missed the mark.
I would say Melanie definitely would deserve to be in the
Melody is what came to mind.
Melanie should have gone a little bit higher. Robbie, I believe, could have gone higher. But it just stinks that the way that they kind of wrote his character. Great. He was Wendy's boyfriend, and then at the end became Tambry's boyfriend, and then just slipped downhill from there for him.
Yeah, and Pacifica, I would say, could have ranked higher had they continued on with her character arc.
Oh, that's true. She should have been God tier. Maybe at the end, if at the end, when, Pacifica ends up, helping the Pines twins out and saving the world, then we could probably put her in the God tier also. But in the end, she didn't do much. She was only there for a circle thing. That's it.
I mean, the closest thing you could get to having her character be developed post Northwest Mystery Mansion is that one comic, but that's just it. It's in the Gravity Falls comic, but it could have been a legitimate TV episode.
Well, I know it's canon, but, that literally happened probably one of the side episodes of Gravity Falls. It's still in Gravity Falls. It's not after Gravity Falls.
Yeah, it's still one of the side stories, but I feel like it had the potential to be a legit episode.
I know there was that. I believe there's some that are disappointing to me. Nathan and Lee. I just thought that those two would have had much more potential, but both of them were just random dudes that are just friends with Wendy. That was all. That again, they could have had more potential. They were just okay characters. Maybe they could have gone better to the good tier in my case. But if anything, I must say the bad tier characters definitely deserve the bad tier, because who cares about those 90s kids? Who cares about the lifeguard guy, because he's just way too tough and way too much on his job? And then forget the Northwest parents. They're terrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fuck the Northwest parents. They're terrible. They're just terrible.
Both Pacifica's parents and the unicorns are the worst characters.
They don't have the unicorns, unfortunately, thankfully.
Yeah, they don't, because we would have put them even below Pacifica's parents. They're that horrible.
Good thing we only have 40 characters. Not everybody would be in this tier list, okay? Yeah. All right, I think that's pretty much it for our episode. Do you have anything else to bring up?
I just want to say, as June 15th approaches, we just want to say early on, happy upcoming anniversary to such a beloved animated series that really did change Disney Channel for the better as we know it, because Gravity Falls, I feel, is what started the epic story arc type of formula for Disney Channel shows. If it wasn't for Gravity Falls, we wouldn't have gone actually been Owl House.
Actually, if it wasn't for Gravity Falls, it would have gotten some great cartoons. I mean, Inside Out, Inside Job, Steven Universe also, I would say.
So Gravity Falls did help revolutionize animation.
Yeah, it helped into what animation is as of now. And Disney TVA started off with Gravity Falls. Look at the people who worked on Gravity Falls and look where they're at right now. Amphibia, Owl House, you can name pretty much a lot of names out of that.
And Inside Job as well.
Yeah, Inside Job. I mean, telling you, there's awesome racing cartoons.
So Gravity Falls, we have, not only do we have so many good memories with it, but there are some really legitimately awesome things Gravity Falls brought to the table, not just at Disney Channel, but animation as a whole. And we thank it for that.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Well, I think that's it for our Gravity Falls tier list. A lot of debating, obviously. Yeah. Dipper versus Mabel. I think we're going to put that in our posts on YouTube now and on our Twitter. So make sure you follow us below. You know, you see the links down below on our screen there. Make sure you follow us on our Blue Sky, Instagram, and Twitter so you'll be notified on our next upcoming episodes. And also, we'll be retweeting a lot of the news, especially from this week's Annecy Festival. A lot of great news coming out of it. We're going to be mentioning about that next week, seeing all the great news from there. And then, of course, you're watching us on our YouTube right now. Why don't you actually help us out and like the video, subscribe to our channel, and also hit the bell button so you're notified when we're coming on next. We always come on live every Wednesday. So next Wednesday, we'll be back here for another new episode. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it I can say from my end.
We just want to say thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. And it felt so good to finally talk about this show again because it's one of our favorite shows ever. And so it's good to share the love.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that's it for us here. Thank you very much for thank you very much for watching our episode. It's been a great tier list. Oh my God, so much debating that we had tonight. Mabel, Pines better than I don't know about this, man. No.
They're both the best characters though. The twins characters are the best.
I gotta look back at this list here. Anyways, thank you very much for checking us out. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
See you later, dudes. See you later, dudes. Yes.